Oh boy. So we're getting ready to start. I'll have my to find out what the basically an investigative path, someplace going north of the Mornglade. Was there anything in particular place in the Mornglade Mountains, the two Dragonbane passes? I mean, two Dragonbane mountains come together. Right, because you wanted to investigate what the Draconians were actually doing, because you knew that they had said that Miri would be catching up with you. It's roughly 4 days per hex. Mm-hmm. That's on passable terrain. If you actually tried to climb the mountains, it would slow you way down. No, you just said 12 miles per day, and it's 49 miles across the hex. Okay. Oh yeah, you can definitely pick up some of the enlightened ones. They're uh, more than willing to send people, and they won't even be able to provide uh, training in their ways. So they will basically be a bit evangelistic when people ask questions. So, well, there are, but
Like
like for
just as big.
as this is to the north, so um, just tell me what you want, what you're looking to play. But you'll be playing basically as an like a scout role or whatever. Before,
Hey,
have you played
Well,
role?
I was.
Go
I don't
ahead.
know how many people were here when I was on Mondays, but uh, I played. What is it? All different kinds of systems. I played
Oh, that's
Star
right.
Wars Fantasy Flight.
Okay. So welcome. The the party of event such, and so they are an unknown enemy that they actually haven't engaged, but so perhaps got a military become like a party is kind of light on right now is the stealth aspect. We have a really powerful uh,
Where?
high level that are running late as far as coming to join us, but they will be joining us short enough. So, what kind of a background would you like to play?
Versus high level.
Sure.
So
If there's anything, if at any point though you have anything you want to chime in with, don't hesitate to do so because they tend to have a
okay.
group at whatever point.
Can I bring some?
Um, uh, Gene, as far as that's concerned, you know that Cord is picking up some advisors from the academy and hold to their word. So you would.
excuse me, advisors. They're like tools. I'm gonna use them to cast spells.
Yeah. I know that, but you're also.
For me, the places we go. This is sort of like I'm offering them protection as they go out.
Of course. But if
That's sort of the deal, I thought.
naturally, if somebody asks,
Everybody else. We were just getting John's audio again, but I fixed it.
all right, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Travis.
You're welcome.
All right.
Oh, what name do you have for your shell? Oh, Travis. I didn't want to use it if you didn't use it, and then I went ahead and used it. Set up. I'll have to the other place.
Easy enough, but we're talking about. Well, you're going to go back to the land of the.
That's when I told
Oh, sure.
Said he'd
That
be a-
that one, sure.
or right outside Florida. if you would.
Prime real estate for this party right now.
Yeah, Florence prime real estate for a lot of folks. Now that the I did go back to Steven's question. Steven, you asked a question. What can I help you with?
Do something different, like not be a good guy.
Like, be part of the North thing?
Yeah.
It's a little problematic, Stephen, only because this group at the level that they're at, playing a counter powered creature, I wouldn't be able to make it equitable for you, and also I'd have to.
I assume my character will die. Don't get me wrong here.
I don't know.
Well, we don't usually support PvP.
Well, I wasn't gonna try PvP. I was gonna more like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really care what I call.
What is it?
Saturday.
No, Monday. Empty vessels. Come bring the training for people who haven't played role play games, and in particular on dealing with issues like this, as far as
Right.
learning how to role play with others and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And make groups that work.
Try.
Right.
Right.
Because I joined one of the sessions on a Monday.
Uh-huh.
That's like my character's Victor. I
Okay.
don't know if you
Okay.
remember that or not.
Okay. Now I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm just sitting here kind of observing, because I don't want to butt into y'all's if you got something going on. I just kind of want to observe and watch to see how this group interacts
Sure.
and how they go.
Sure. And I think the easiest way to start this off, as far as the actual interaction, Miri, is that you've caught up with Cord's army on their way north.
Okay.
Stephen, if you want, I can. The one thing I can afford for you to do is for you to play a sec gen. So pick an animal species to be a second genesis of, and you've been escorted here to give what you believe to be the case for the support of the Draconian advancement. So you're sympathetic with the Draconians building their own country. Would that work for you?
Yeah, it works.
All right. So pick who and what you're going to be, and when I come back around,
A fox
to you,
person, a cat person, a rabbit
Maybe the
person.
wolf, the wolf that remember that kid I freed? The one that.
That was an ape person.
No, he's talking about.
They're, matter of fact, although they're bestial in nature, they are as uncivilized as the sec gen are civilized. They don't acknowledge the existence of other creatures, any animalistic creature type you want. So rhinos. I don't
Oh,
care.
John, mark my words. I will get them to be a sec gen.
At that stage of development, they didn't descend from human. They're slowly being raised up from animal.
Yeah, but Stephen doesn't have the framework of convention to limit him there. So
Yeah.
Okay,
I still
well,
love them no matter what.
I think I got everything situated. So unless you
I'll
need
be
me,
the fish people. Yes.
yeah, thank you, Travis. Yeah, that you've helped a lot. I didn't know that the sound wasn't working. I could see that the little bar was moving, so I thought they were everyone was hearing them. So thanks for fixing that.
yeah, no
Cool.
problem.
All right, so Miri, you've caught up with because you remember you had a
Hesitation.
yes.
Hey, Mary, how's it going?
Doing well.
I met Cord.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you did meet.
I-
Okay.
I even took some epullets from you.
Oh yeah, the
Epithets, yeah.
Epaulet.
epithets. He's
An epithet.
Thank you, Miss Lassiter.
Pauldron.
Major laughter.
Pauldron is another word.
No, well, pauldrons are different from epaulets. Epaulets are up on top of the shoulder. Pauldrons are in the front of the shoulder.
They're kind of like a general's stars that he wears on his lapel.
And also the little hang up fringe off the little thing that looks like he has a shoulder cap.
All right.
Makes his shoulders all broad and square. And
Things that go on the shoulders is a good word.
Yes.
Is a good series of words.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Mary. How you doing?
doing well. I am bringing some clerics along from the Temple of Veritas and any others that wanted to join in. Hopefully to give a selection of
I did not
clerics
do this
for your
character or
people.
something? Oof. Did not do this character.
That'd be
at
great.
all.
What are your plans?
My plans. I plan to go up to the civilization, march my army up to their front door, and ask for a talk with them. And then
Civilization where?
that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to figure out where
Right now, you're just marching through the forest. Matter of fact, you were on you could actually take the road because it did go straight north.
Yes, it did.
Wait, the road?
The road, yes.
The road went
Magic
straight.
road.
Wait a minute, wasn't that the road that took us off somewhere where we didn't want to be?
Yes. We're
Yeah, well,
staying-
Well, that's
we
'cause
don't really.
you were going north by northwest, but the road kept going north.
You said
Well-
it started to. Okay.
Umara's men went on that, and 2 out of this 9 returned.
Yes, that's true.
I don't care if it triples our time. I'm not walking on it.
Fair.
That this thing is happening. That's a big area.
Oh,
No,
God.
Mary. But I can send scouts out, and this whole thing will just let us get a good idea of what's going on here, even if we don't find what we're looking for.
Okay. Ever so often, I like to stop and put up a gate. Wait.
Okay.
Well, are you talking about the temple?
So often, I want a stone one at certain key points.
How about since you're traveling through elevated position, because historically you've been building them at the tops of passes and such.
Yeah.
Because you're looking from point A to point B, but looking across the forest, even if you were in a tall tower, it'd be difficult to see the next one, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
For clarification, the Mornglade, this entire forest, which is as tightly knotted and twisted and marginally magical as something like the Misty Mountains, you have literally it's trackless miles and miles of forest to have to hack through. So
Lines of
lines of 1,000.
1,000 long. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Just a real big, long, chaotic line. I'll be using the flag system that I developed to guide the line
Kind
through
of like
the
a
forest.
Semaphore. Every so often, you got a guy with flags that sends the message backwards or whatever.
Yes.
Right.
So it's virtually.
I'm gonna station clerics with maybe each group of 100, so that if somebody's injured, they can
You've
quickly
got
take care of them.
650. You want 650 priests? Sorry, 65 priests, because he's got.
Oh no! I dropped 1,500 of my army back at Bridgeton
Oh, that's
to explore the south. I have 5,000 men with me.
Right. What's you come up with, Stephen?
I'm gonna be a cleric fish.
Literally
Yes.
a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So,
And not the same one from Sunday.
No.
Yeah, it's not the same one.
May I ask
I
what
just
kind of
did the
fish?
stats. I could do the same one, but
No, you can't take one out of the other.
I'm
Okay.
not.
Are you gonna be like a goldfish or like a sunfish?
How that is racist.
a bass,
You're not.
a catfish.
Are you gonna be like a?
What freshwater, ocean? What kind of?
Freshwater catfish? No.
Shark?
Koi. No.
Koi.
Koi. Thank
Koi.
you, sir.
A koi.
Koi fish.
Okay.
Koi.
Also known as a carp. Alrighty.
It sounds better.
Their common name is carp.
Yeah.
What am I looking for again?
Okay. Well, yes, I'll have 65 priests with me. If I'll pull them in as I go if necessary.
Nice.
Look at 1 per 100 men is not that rich, and
No, I get it. I just was clarifying that with
Yeah.
with his full
and
force.
she'll take acolytes to help the clerics, and then she certainly wants to have a medical wagon and somebody
Okay.
well versed in
So now
medicine.
you're batting wagons, especially that be an underbrush cut, but you're gonna actually have to like pull roots and things like that to be able to put a road for those wagons to come down. The good news is
Miri, my plan originally was to just have each man carry his own stuff and then have the wizards prepare food in the evening and morning and during the middle of the day.
Okay, what about backup weapons? You can't weigh them down with 90 and 100 pounds of equipment and expect them to get any time at all and get there fresh enough to fight.
Well, I hope we don't have to fight. And also taking into consideration that I had this army is built on strength, so it's good training for them along the road to carry a lot of stuff.
Remember, he is focused on their strength more than anything. So
they read the contract.
Yeah. So he's basically taking a detachment of U.S. Marines and then pushing them through the SEAL training as well. So, okay.
In my defense, I watched a YouTube video on that, and
hello, Mara.
Oh.
Hello.
Yay! Hey. The good military movement because you were waiting around for the Accords spies from the south, and they brought with you a petition again on behalf of the Draconian forces by way of the SecGen, and that is okay.
Melon Ball.
Marlin Ball, and he's a
Ball.
Can you type it in?
First bite off the apple, so to speak, by talking to Malon Ball. Umara, he's been this carpet's been brought before you. Image do you trying to portray for yourself?
I am a noble fish merchant. Yeah, I come from a family of dukes and
duchesses.
Duchesses, yes.
Okay, so you're the son of a duke, so you would be. That's pretty funny. No, I'm not gonna go there. Okay.
Viscount.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a Viscount. Be gentle. He is a noble, even though he might be confused.
All right.
As fish often are.
So yeah, and also
he's a greenhorn. Got it.
Also remember, Malon, that even though you're here with the absolute mission of supporting the unification of the two armies, you are a fish, so you will have some difficulty in maintaining attention span while you're talking.
That's fair.
Oh, look at the fly! Oh, there is another fly! Oh, a mosquito!
Yeah.
I want to apologize in advance for the fish puns I'm about to make.
Yes.
Racist!
Oh, boy.
Make it!
I have several.
What are you?
Oh, yeah, and Omari does get to announce herself, so give us your character name, class, race, and what you think the enemy to the north might be.
Hi, my name is Omar Brightwood. I am an ancestral barbarian druid, level 19 human, and I have no idea what the enemy is in the north.
But you're looking forward to finding them nonetheless.
Yep.
All right, so you've got Malon alongside you as your the Rob Dig Nag when you get there.
All right, step lightly.
Ace. Why must we fight? Why can't we make peace instead?
If peace can be made and they are a peaceful folk, then yes.
That's the idea.
Draconians are actually moving actively.
I want to do that.
Why not? I've realized that they are going the wrong way of taking land, but you need land to build a society. Why not talk with the leaders of other armies in the moment we get the chance to meet, to exchange lands, maybe, instead of us going after each other. Snacks.
Because we don't know how they treat others once approachable. If they are territorial, they will attack. Ignore him.
All right. So after Umara has caught up to the main body of the martial forces, you've run into the first major obstacle traveling through the Mornglade, and that is you come to a kind of a for lack of a better term, a marshy, creamy, gooey center. The land that has been fairly solid and supporting massive pine trees and such is giving way to sycamore. Much more of the way is going to become considerably more difficult, as you're going to have to actually try to plumb your way around the.
Oh, wait. You said there were trees in the swamp, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, then I'll just cut those down and use them as bridges. Are there enough that I can do that without it going out of my way?
No, as far as going out of your way, no, you could pretty much do that. The process would be fundamentally, though, putting your forces to attacking a small grove of trees, chopping them down, and then having the rest of the marsh.
I'm going to talk to some geographers, which I'm pretty sure I have in my mess troops, and ask if this is a faster way of doing this.
It makes the downside is it's still going to be slow on the front edge because they actually have to stop and chop those trees down to service a trail through the marsh.
Right. Well, I like the idea of a sound retreat because we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. It's a nice bridge we can burn if we have to retreat. So I'd say that
continue like boils forming something in the trees that they're cutting down. That's basically those that were in the front vanguard were the first ones to engage with it, and these horribly blotchy looking boils on their skin.
All right. Well, I'm going to call back my leaders together again, and I'm going to take that back. I'm going to retcon that. It looks like we are going around, actually.
Well, okay, so we'll find that they actually have to draw on the farther back units fairly quickly because they simply can't handle the amount of cases. It's within. So
We might find it somewhere again.
DC.
Okay.
This will be an assisted, so you get advantage, but it's a DC of 17.
Okay. The one was an 18 on the dice.
Okay.
And let's see, I add, was it wisdom? Or no, it's investigation. I only have
the trees themselves aren't the problem, but there is insects. They look like, for lack of a better term, they look pincers. And basically it looks like stings from these insects or bites, pinches from these insects
are causing
this
kind of like a
plague, this disease.
Yeah.
And it's not lethal. They're not dying from it, but it does cause debilitating pain and reduces their effectiveness in terms of utility.
You're going to have to put these on reduced duty. We'll have the wounds cleaned, bound, and the most serious ones she'll give healing to.
Right, and your priests do have the modicum of like cure wounds and things like that. But,
yeah.
But only one. They can each only handle one disease hit.
Yeah.
Well, it was just okay.
Not 650 troop. I have 5,000.
Also, just being aware of the aphids means you can actually reduce.
Wrappings on their arms and their body, extra clothes on top, some sort of cloak wrapping them up, and wearing gloves and.
We're not going to go through anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't know. That might not help, but something like. I wonder if I can modify earthquake to raise the earth up so that I don't know. Okay.
How much of a lasting legacy do you want out of this trip, Cord? Because building this road as changing course, does it mean that you're going to necessarily run into less problems? No. Do you want to handle the problem that you have in front of you, or do you want to go find another problem? That's really the question.
Well, I mean, this problem isn't.
Corey Strong
Yeah.
grabs your sleeve, basically, Cord, and says, "If I might, I have some potential."
From these insects, if we could possibly capture some and have some of our clerics or healers come up with an antidote.
Alchemist or a
Sure. Yes.
Okay, well, this looks like it's going to take a while, so I think we might as well call it for the day and settle down. I'm going to wait here for you've got a day before I go around.
All right.
okay.
So
But you think, yeah.
So come up with a character name for your identity, so that we can call on you by that name now that you've become part of the story here. I mean, it's really useful.
Sorry, I just.
No,
yeah, I
that's
just thought
okay.
of
No, that's exactly what we
That's
did.
exactly how you go, and you get in. You have something to add. Give yourself a name. Last
Working
name
on
could
it.
be
Yeah,
Strongbow.
no problem. No problem. While you're doing that, to get him an audience with Cord, because he really wants to press his case for
All right.
identity.
I guess a caravan. It's a caravan.
It's
Well,
just
it's-
a really
it's-
big
it's
line
an
of
army.
men
It's the
setting
army.
up.
All right, I'll
fires.
get through the army and
Sure,
Uh,
they'll recognize and salute you along the way. Glad to have you back among us. They're staring after the
or like judgmentally, I glare back at them like
yeah. I just see
fake
you
bite.
like raising your hand like you're gonna thwap him in the back of.
Oh, hello, Amara.
Oh, hey,
Nice friend you got there. I trust your trip went swimmingly.
Very nice
Mhm.
BP there
Yes.
for the fishing joke. Yes.
mhm.
Now you're gonna punch Cord for that one.
I feel like we get too much of this from
Tempted to.
Oh, don't be
John.
too despondent.
Okay, now I'm gonna punch you.
Now he gets punched.
Knock it off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right with you.
John's not here. There's only the DM. Do you want?
He's above
Yeah.
the waters, and the waters above the waters.
Well, hello, friend. What's your name? Don't play coy. We're all friends around here.
My,
And he shrugs his shoulders and walks away because, of course, he is.
A noble fish
Thank you.
race.
Not only that,
Fun
you're
well that I
educated.
am
You graduated
Cord
at the
Cord
first of your school.
Of
First it is fishing
formerly
school.
Cauldron. What brings you to this advance?
I wanted to make sure that us
Section.
Second Genesis.
second Genesis
And
isn't persecuted for crimes that we have not committed, and make sure we have a place in this world just as much as you have a place in this world.
well, apparently floored Cord.
out on the ocean.
Hello. Oh, he must have
Uh-huh.
crashed. Did you crash, Cord? Must have
Uh-huh.
crashed.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
back. Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah.
again now.
Cool. Sorry about that.
No, I figured we just completely stumped you. You were
You were saying, Melon?
Yeah, he's actually talking about the freedoms of supporting the Draconian advance.
I do support the drone advance, though. I just feel like it's better that we just
Well, that's fair enough. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit suspicious of that includes sec gens, so
I will watch and make sure. Thank you.
um
Of course, you know there's no sections with the army, right?
Hmm?
Aren't you? Most
well, I mean, I wasn't like discriminatory in my recruiting process, so I guess that's up to
No, man, and they also tend to hold the sec gen as non-essential, so they filled their ranks with your human soldiers and such. So
I'm going to have to rectify that later.
yes. First of all, you have ships and
Mhm.
power base that you had as core. Anyway,
Lord, Cord of Cord.
yes. So research that's done and basically swinging like incense buckets around, they're able to drive it off, kind of like the way citronella drives off mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And
In
therefore,
fact, we'll come up with a concoction maybe they can rub on their skins.
right.
That makes it.
Somewhat, instead of 12 miles per day, you'll be doing 10.
But it's still good.
The life forms in the area are, but you are aware that the SecGen are pretty much ubiquitous. And anywhere you go to, you will probably find a few of them, and in certain places you'll find higher concentrations. During the recent conflict, the majority of them rallied under the flag of a very powerful commander known as Tongue Eater, and they were not. They were rather extreme in their agenda, and so most folk are distrustful of the SecGen just because they actually argued that they saw become a demon.
Yeah.
That it actually changed form and became a monstrous demon form.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, at this point, conjecture, because there are a lot of people who don't recall it or the area. As far as you certainly could join one of the scout groups to try to go find something like that if you want to. You'd want to ask, of course, Cord for permission to join his scout troops because you are a noble and that puts you at risk.
That's fair. And then I would like to ask Cord for.
Yes.
Well, nobles are always liability. Never stopped them from doing what they felt was right in their eyes.
Follow that kind of decorum.
As a soldier, I've been around a noble plenty, and most of them can't handle their own.
Right.
Yes. Clothes. Their own person. They can't wipe
Okay.
themselves.
Maruk, are you up for being part of a scouting troop, or did you want to stay with the main body?
I can go for a scouting group.
Alrighty, so you and Mail ask you for permission to join your next scouting mission.
Malin or Cord?
Yes.
Oh God,
Oh.
that's a joke.
Mark,
That
are
is
you,
a joke waiting to happen.
are
That's
you
a joke waiting to happen.
part of my?
Jen? Are you asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to provide him with. Think of it this way: he is like the military advisor from Britain that's moving with the American army during the Civil War.
Is he that guy from Mulan that has a clipboard?
Yes,
Yeah.
Nice.
that's
Wow.
exactly right. He's from the crown of a foreign representation to be with your moving army on this campaign to the north, to make sure that none
Umara,
of
I like your picture. Pretty.
You know what I found?
95% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Yes, and 100% of people that eat carrots eventually die. So,
And you know about statistics? There's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics.
thank you.
You know,
Maruk,
Meanwhile, back on the track.
right, Maruk, you need, of course, including the SecGen. So, had a lobster head because he was kind of.
Honestly, I'm going with this picture.
Let everybody know my first name is pronounced Salen.
Sailing? Okay.
Yeah, like say land. Put together, Salen.
A list of the ranks I have in my army.
Sure.
Sure.
Give him a choice of those.
Okay.
There-
As I come up and request permission.
Yeah. So put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So you're probably at least a corporal, possibly a sergeant.
yeah,
That's what I'm
mine
thinking.
probably mirror.
There you go.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That is pretty awesome.
That one thing that he does have on his accoutrement that we don't actually see there is that he has about 1.5 gallon bucket, and he's got a rag that he pulls out of it periodically to moisten his face with. He does have to keep.
No, I have a little one.
Squeeze.
No, he gets a mop. He dunks it.
He's got a mop. Oh, that's very hysterical. Okay, so if you're Malon Ball, then the other one's name has got to be Barry. Barry.
All right, I'm good with that.
Fish can't wipe their own bottom
We don't need to.
or
No,
brow. Not much difference.
Wow.
Mark, was it? I'm promoting you. Good work with that idea for making.
So
Everything for Cord is performance.
So you promoted him to sergeant then, from corporal?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations, sergeant.
Well, thank you. And as I approach Cord, I was like, I request permission to go on the scouting party.
Malin, he wants to go explore.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure the noble doesn't get himself into trouble.
Report to the SecGen.
To kind of think of a way where she can raise Earth up. Okay.
Okay.
She's trying to think of how she
So
can
what level is
reframe.
earthquake? So what level is earthquake?
I think it's 8th level. I can cast the 8th level.
Okay. So my question is, how much area does it allow you to affect?
I think it's like 500 feet. Let me check.
Yeah. Because when we get that number, then I would argue you could use a lesser version of it, and I mean, at the same level, have less of an area effect, and yet make it a more permanent change.
Okay,
that
so
and also shape it.
Right.
So instead of a whole field.
Stone shape is a lot different spell, and this is actually raising the earth because technically it's actually could be also a form of lower water because what you're doing is pushing away.
Oh, I can control water.
It's a 100 radius sphere. Or not sphere. It's a 100-foot radius circle.
So I can shape it. I can see.
But I'm saying with your control water, you can actually flow the mud to where you want it to be, and then lower the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can.
That too.
But
that too.
Yeah, but look at the range of that and duration of that effect.
Spell.
Okay.
But the other one is control water, and that's a 4th level spell. And I can sacrifice some higher level spells to move into a lower level spell.
Right. So calculate how many of those you'll have to work with, and then we can figure out how much roadway you can fix.
Still like the idea of getting the logs up there later. They can pack gravel in.
That then move ahead and just wait for the report.
I'll keep behind them.
She's going to go, but not take the lead.
Exactly. I'm going to take the rear.
For the last few days with him, that makes sense. So you're kind of like watching what he does, but not interfering. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So, Malin and Maruk, are you heading off into the direction of the roadway, or did you want to go just slightly left or slightly right of the roadway path that they're planning?
I will trust the leader.
So right down the middle?
I would go off to one side. We could use the road to follow, but go off to one side. That way, we can ambush any ambushes and have cover.
Gotcha. Well, the clarification: there isn't a road. You're actually making it. This is trailblazing. There's nothing ahead other than marsh and swamp. So
you are the road.
Right. You basically are going to be either dead reckoning straight north off of the main road, or dead reckoning straight north plus 15 or 100 yards left or right. You see what I'm saying? So, marsh.
Yeah.
There's no one's really certain why. No one's ever passed through the center like you guys are doing. This is a first in probably close to 3,000 years that somebody's actually physically been here.
We're going to chop down trees, make a big path
through this marsh. You're having difficulty walking through it. Ironically enough, Malon and Barry are able to move through it pretty smoothly because they're like fish out of water.
Or fish in water, mucky water.
So you're surprised to see how agile the two of them are in this environment. You were thinking it's a sec gen, it's going to be a problem, but he moves right through it pretty swimmingly. Yes. So as you're moving forward,
For me, it's probably not so much the section part. It's probably more the noble part.
Yes. Yes, the fact that he's dressed so fastidiously and he waits for Barry to pull the branches back so he can walk between the trees, it's a little off-putting. Anyway, as you're moving forward, among the trees, you see what looks like it might be a road posts or signposts of some sort. There are two stone monoliths. They are 18 feet tall, basically to the left and the right of center. So it appears that you may have actually found what might be the core of an ancient road or an ancient facility of some sort. They're marked over with ancient glyphs and markings. And at this range, you see that the terminus of each of these obelisks is a stone sphere, about as big around as the seeing stone, the eye of the dragon that Miri is carrying. She's shown it to you before, so it's similar in size. Well, actually, this is for Omara, Maruk, and Melan. It's about 9 inches across. It's like a bowling ball, basically at the top of these pillars, and these themselves. So it almost looks like they've been placed on top of these pillars separately.
Examine the pillars.
Okay, so as you approach the pillars, they are 4-sided obelisks. The markings and emblems are actually embossed into the surface to maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch in depth. It's some form of writing. If you have
common and fish, I'm guessing.
Dragon, common, and fish. Okay. So the letters don't match to any of those, but a few of the characters are reminiscent of Draconic. Most historians are aware of that because they both basically communicated ages ago in the area known as the Everdark.
I also like to cast Guidance of Good and Evil, or Detect Good and Evil. There you go. On the pillars.
Okay.
On the pillar.
So you're detecting good and evil. What you'll notice is that the detects as slightly good. The other, which is a dark, almost, and it detects slightly evil.
So I turn to my companions. It seems good and evil, and it looks like it feels like they were using whatever this pillar is to use.
The fish has gone off somewhere.
Yeah. Fish is rambling. It's a rambling fish.
I feel like they're using it to ward off, maybe? Both good and evil? I mean, I can be completely wrong.
All right. What languages does Maruk speak, by the way? You can have it.
Draconic
And
common. That's all I have.
Okay. So this actually may be some of your home territory, because you would know that somewhere in this area known as the Mornglade, there is a dragon who still lives out here. He's they individually call him the Hermit because he doesn't necessarily engage with people outside, but he has been known to go on raids periodically, foraging for food and such. And so the locals have gotten into the habit of the Hermit won't take the best of their foods, but instead will take these.
Well,
So looking at the symbols on the thing, the one.
Oh, does anybody know what color the dragon is?
Oh,
She could ask when the information comes home. So I was just wondering, out of in meta, what color it was.
oh, I got you. I got you.
I'm gonna pick up something and just throw it across past the boundaries of the pillars to see if anything happens.
Throw something across the pillar. You mean between the pillars?
Well, no, between the two pillars.
Yeah, between.
That passes
Passes
between the two pillars that are standing there.
Okay, so the area between the two is covered with underbrush and grasses. There's also a thin film of water as well, because it's, of course, a marsh. What are you throwing?
Fish.
Okay, so as you do, it actually clatters rather noisily, and especially on that first spin, the edge of the stones appears to be trued. In other words, it's like the stones have been worked before they've been inset. So it's not just we're putting stones down side by each to make a road. It looks like they actually built a road out of stone.
Yeah, they cut using cut dressed stone.
That puts them at about 25 to 30 feet apart.
Maybe we should go back and report this.
Yeah, probably ought to do that. Go back, at least send somebody back to tell them what's going on.
Do you want to explore further to see where the road goes? Because all you found at this point is literally. Yeah, generally scouting missions take down notes on their path because individuals traveling are going to travel a lot faster than an army. So therefore, you can make like 24 or 25 miles in a day, whereas the army's only going to make 12. So you can actually move quite a bit forward before you have to circle back. Unless this is too scary for you and the fish already wants to turn back.
Wow.
You know I'm a noble fish, and I've gone out on missions at least twice as long as this one.
Yeah, with his entourage, his carriage.
Is it deep enough to swim in?
No, it's literally shallow enough that when you threw a rock at it, it splashed away from the surface.
All right. Well, I was like the surrounding waters and so forth. Okay.
Besides which, it's, shall we say, thick with algae and mud.
Well, yeah, but there's marshes where
lots of other interesting things.
There are places where you might find a pool. In this case, you have not yet found a pool.
All right. Okay. Let's keep on going then.
Well, so the question is: are you walking down the stone road you found, or are you going to
keep
go around it?
True north.
Stay off the main path and try to walk in the marsh alongside it? What do you want to do?
I guess we can go. I'd say we go around it because the stones gave off like good and evil, and I don't know what it will do to us if we go through the path.
Well, and you only saw the rock from the distance that it took for you to throw another rock at it. Did you want to move up closer and look at the dressed stones? Maybe get a better idea of what it is you're looking at?
Let's go actually get a closer look at the stones.
All right. So as you come closer, even though it's underwater, you can see that, especially there where the water is the shallowest, there's actually an ambient glow coming from the stones under the water, and that this ambient light is specifically of that first stone that you struck. It's hexagonal in shape, about a foot and a half. I'm sorry. Yeah, foot and a half on an edge, so about 4.5 feet across the corner. It would be easy enough to take like a broom or even just a big branch or something and brush the stuff off of it to get a better look at it if you want.
Barry, mop it, sweep. Move it around.
He sighs and moves forward, and with his little tiny mop, he starts sopping up the water and squeezing it out and clearing the area. so that you can get a clearer look at the stone. The stone kind of has the visual consistency of like soapstone, so it's literally like you're looking at like the top of a column, if you will, that looks like it might be made out of soap, for lack of a better term. Whatever it is, there seems to be something dark suspended inside of that shape. So as you're looking down at it from above, you see a dark central mass that's about 3 feet across. Joined to the next stone by a flat gray material that
Here's
so-
lead.
Yeah. I want to cast Holy Flame on the granite, on the where the granite and the lead is at. Just to see how it reacts to
You
it.
mean Sacred Flame?
You're out of your depth.
well, Sacred Flame
But okay.
is a roll to hit. So
Hi, I gave
Did
you
he just-
food.
Did he just say kelp?
he did.
He
Oh,
did.
jeez.
Kelp, I need somebody kelp, not just anybody kelp.
Well,
Stop,
while he's
stop,
kind of
please,
dealing with
just
all
stop.
that,
Right.
I will.
I want
never
to do like a
cancel the
perception check to
spell
see
this
if
is how
there's
it's
anything
meant.
out there that's watching us.
Oh, good point. Go ahead and roll. A D20.
True heart of a scout.
There you go. Yeah. Yes. About 20 feet off the ground, you see a pair, the size of which is about 7 inches tall. These
Hmm.
The eyes
the
are
eyes-
7 inches.
7 inches tall.
Can I see anything other than the eyes?
Yes, by once the thing is that when you gaze upon the eyes, then you can see the silhouette of the monstrous head. Its brow line is low over the eyes, so that the brow line is heavy across it, so the eyes are partially occluded by the brow line. But long, smooth horns leave from the back of the skull right above that brow line, so it's got a low flat head as well. Its snout is not very prognathic. It doesn't stick out very far, but the mouth is full of jagged and broken looking teeth. You're basically peering into the face of a black dragon.
Yeah, this is not cool.
It's about 100 yards away. So
You're looking at us.
perceptually, yeah, it's only gonna. I mean, from where you are, if you put out your
It's just
thumb,
gonna get bigger.
if you put out your thumb, you'd cover up the nose, but you'd be able to see the eyes on either side of your thumb. So that's giving you an idea of scale, as how far away it is, and how big it is.
And he probably's not gonna be able to hear me if I start talking.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't. So
You gonna tell me?
You can draw attention.
At us. He's not really coming at us. He's just
Right.
kind of eyeing us.
He's just watching.
Okay. So I'm gonna lean over to Malin and go, "Don't do anything stupid.
What will happen?
We have a black dragon that's looking directly at us. Let's make sure we don't do anything stupid for him to attack."
All right. Is he past the borders of the pyramid? I mean, not the pyramid.
Oh yeah, he's on the other side of the pillars, and you're just basically standing between the pillars. Now, as you lit the sacred flame off on the ground in front of you, it doesn't have any perceived effect. It looks like it's weeping. It's so shiny and smooth. It's like somebody polished the rock after it was inserted in the ground.
Ooh.
You inserted something in the ground. Sorry.
We have a road already here. The problem is we have a dragon. We would have to get permission to build something here, in a sense, or fight it with an army.
Don't really want
Which
to
I
fight
feel
it.
like it's a bad idea.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna kind of, because it's not just me and Malin. We've got kind of like our own little entourage, right?
Yep.
You got 13 dudes that you're in charge of.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna dragon because I want to talk to it. I want to explain to what's going on here.
Mile? What? That's far. He's still pretty far off, right?
He's 100.
Because I mean, if we're in his territory, we need to ask permission. Because I want to play nice. I don't want to have to fight this thing.
I will
Does that make sense?
stay
Yep,
behind.
yep. So you're moving forward on the dragon's position. Marsh, its tail basically crossing the roadway that you're on, or you're moving down. So it's kind of laying perpendicular to your path, turning its head to the left to look at you.
Okay.
As you continue to move forward, you can see it rises off of the ground, and you notice something else about it, and that is its wings are folded over its body, but it must have been sitting there for a really long time because there are tree branches and leaves and debris all over it. So when it stands up, it's almost like it was in camouflage. It was actually laying there for a really long time.
Almost like it's hibernating.
Yeah, or just doesn't have much cause to move around very much.
Okay. Well,
Contemplating the greater allness of nothing.
I'm walking up to it like in a non-threatening manner. Like I don't have any of my weapons out. My guy next to me doesn't have anything out because I know these things are smart.
Okay. So like your hands are open, face palm up, that kind of thing as you're walking towards.
Yeah, that kind of thing to show respect and show that we're not going to actually try to kill it.
Okay. With that, it raises up onto its haunches, basically pushing its upper body to a seated position, sitting on the triangle of its tail and the backs of its back two legs. Its body sags, even though you would think of the reptilians being kind of lithe and thin. This one's kind of bloated, and the lower half of the body kind of sags over itself and folds. Yeah, in other words, it doesn't look like it's ever missed a meal. It looks rather...
In a long time.
Looks like it's had plenty to eat, just simply sitting here, and as different creatures have come through. It looks down at you, and you see it pull its forelegs up towards its face, turning the claws inward so that it can look at them, almost like he's inspecting like the under the nails or whatever. And as he's looking at his paws, at his claws, he looks back at you and tilts his head as an angle. Now you're within about 60 feet, so you're within action range if you wanted to act against it, but it also doesn't seem to be particularly aggressive in any kind of military way. Nonetheless, just approaching the dragon, once you get within 60 feet, you do have to make a
willpower save.
Wisdom save. So you're going to roll a d20.
Can he have advantage because the dragon's dummy thick?
He's what?
No, it wouldn't be. It's just the size of it that causes the saving.
I like to use guidance. But
It's that awesome fear effect they have.
You also could, if you wanted to use guidance to give yourself, but I think that's against checks, not against saves.
So wisdom saving throw.
Yes. DC,
and that's
DC is going to be a 15.
Okay, so that's d20 plus my wisdom modifier.
Yes.
Okay.
Which would be 2 at least for your character, plus maybe 1 or 2 for a stat between 10 and 14. 1 if it's 11 or 12. 2 if it's 14. Actually, 1 if it's 12, and 2 if it's 14.
Well, either way, it's only going to be like a 12.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you literally can't move any closer to it. It's just the fear of
which is fine.
Yeah. You just
I don't want to get any
like
closer.
You're walking forward, you're trying to be brave, and then you see it stand up, and you realize how much bigger than you it is, and it's like oh. And looks down and says, "Who approaches Nirassian?"
Nirassian?
Nirassian. My name is Salen Maruk. I come in peace.
Oh, and why you come to my forest?
We are traveling
North.
northward, and we are building a road to the swamp, and we are just here to travel through the swamp to get to where we need to
Building
go.
a road directly to Miller is not exactly the most friendly way of approaching this.
Well, that's why I'm here, is to make sure it's okay.
I think perhaps this is part of my history and my family in Milan. So you probably need to go back from where you came.
Is there a way that we can still get through here but proceed north without disturbing your lair?
I care not about your travels. You certainly are allowed to pass through, but building roads and bringing more people to my lair, that's not very friendly like.
Well, we don't wish to disturb you. This is why I'm asking if there's a better way that we can detour around your route, around your lair, or is this entire swamp your lair?
Oh, I'm not so pretentious as to hold it all. After all, there are many dragons larger than myself. So, no, I suggest you find perhaps your own path. To the east, you run into Le Messar. You run to the west, you run into Vofiliar. They might not care so much, but when you are talking about dragon breeding grounds like this, you tend to run into quite difficult challenges.
That totally makes sense.
Besides, I like Miller, and I don't want to share.
Well, see, that comes into challenge.
Or us.
Ah,
Not you.
You come to a challenge? I accept challenge. Step
No,
forward.
I'm not. I'm not saying that I wish to challenge you. I'm saying we're coming to an impasse. I'm saying we are coming to an impasse because I'm here just as a peaceful gesture, try to find out what we can do for you.
Sure. And next you'll be telling me you're led by a giant, and you've got a wizard of green, and you've got a priest of green, and that you've got a warrior of the wildlands, and that you are on some kind of mystical quest.
Well, we're not on a mystical quest, but we're just trying to get through the swamp as peaceful as we can.
Back there, Malon.
All right.
DC 15.
Well, how many? Which dice again?
20.
Okay. I'm tapping my name tag because that was pretty bad.
What'd you get? What'd you get? Share.
I got a 6, so I'm gonna tip my name tag.
Okay, so just change the character's name to a question mark. So it'll be question mark and Barry.
Or
Oh,
put
yeah.
a question mark after your name.
I got a 6 again.
Okay.
Yep, you're not approaching the dragon.
Yep.
You can talk to him behind Barry. That's pretty good.
Now that's just funny.
Hello, I am a noble fish, Malinball, and my squire Barry. I have a question.
Ask. I can only choose to answer or kill you.
Lead to death. Is there anything that you know of that would persuade the others to help us, to allow us to build a path in their territory?
I don't understand. This is my lair. This is where I live. This is my home. You are trespassing, and you're suggesting I should tell you how better to trespass?
Gain permission to travel.
Oh, as I say, you're more than able to pass through. You just simply can't be building roads and.
That's fair.
He's not gonna listen.
Maybe we come back with our leader to have a proper conversation of, and a walking gift, of course. Also, I present this to you, and I do the whole
He
way.
hands you gold pieces, then pushes you forward. That's funny.
Give it to
And
him.
I, under my breath, typical noble.
Trying to buy permission.
So not by permission. You gotta properly give gifts to someone of noble.
Just a second. Meanwhile, from Umar's position, you see a couple of squirrels take off running like mad backwards down the pathway, and it's like Chip and Dale. They're tumbling over each other as quickly as they can as they're scampering down this pathway. They get to the end of the pathway, and one turns and runs for the Green Veil Priestess, and the other one heads for the shoulder of the commander. As the little tiny animal approaches, Cord, what do? Little ground squirrel headed for you.
Oh, this is one of Umar's, isn't it?
More than likely.
All right, I'll reach down my hand and then talk to the squirrel.
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma save.
Okay, that's a 10 plus 0.
Yes, the thing has that endearing quality of Umara in its eyes, as the eyes sparkle as it squeaks to you. Behold, Dragon Nerisian is ahead.
Nerisian dragon.
Aha!
As in scaly quadrupedal that breathes some sort of elemental weapon.
Aha! Amara suggests you come.
The great Mirak. All right.
Nerasian. After he says it, the sparkle goes out in its eyes. It looks at you and gets this realization that you make squirrel soup out of such things, and so it bolts from you as quickly as it can run.
All right, Miri.
Now, meanwhile, Miri has a squirrel that's basically run up and crawled up her clothing and is sitting on her shoulder, whispering in her ear the same thing.
I will come. Will you tell her I'm coming, or does she hear me?
Once it gives its message, it again kind of stares blankly at you. Does one more sachet around your shoulders, running its tail under your chin, and then leaping down and running back into the forest.
I'm going to give the order for the entire army to start gearing itself up. And then I'm going to tell them to wait until I send someone back to get them. And I'm going to go with Miri alone ahead.
Okay. So the two of you are moving up to where Umar's position is, watching the young ones, so to speak. Okay, so Salen, you've been being pushed forward with 5 gold pieces in your pocket that's somehow supposed to make you braver. Do you wish to try to re-engage by trying to pass by that barrier again? Or do you want to just hold your ground and hold out the coins?
I'm just going to hold my ground. I don't want to get any closer, because the way this conversation's going, if I step any closer, he may just fry me. So I'm going to just kind of push back as he's pushing against me to kind of hold my ground.
Right. Okay. The dragon takes a couple of lazy steps out onto the roadway. His mass and his I guess you call it his slovenly approach, because he's so big. He doesn't take a lot of time to make sure that he steps properly, so he's dragging his feet across the ground, and you see not one but dozens and dozens of these hexagonal flagstones that you've seen, like the one before, but the whole roadway seems to be made of them.
Okay.
Ooh.
And as it moves out onto the roadway, it then repositions itself seated, and so he's moving towards you a little bit. You still need to make your roll to hold your ground, or else you're going to have to back up unless you automatically want to back up.
Natural 1.
Nice.
No, he backs
I got
up.
a 14.
You basically run over the fish. you run right past the fish. Now,
Yeah.
that poor
I
Barry.
got a 14.
Okay, so Barry, so you're holding your ground, but oh no, 14. Yeah, you're going to also have to run, but check Barry first.
Barry, be my 20. Be my 20. He's my 1.
He's your one? Yeah, Barry pursues Salen, and so even though you're the last to move, you also have to turn and back up. You only have to back up a few feet to get outside of the terror zone, so to speak. You feel comfortable stopping about.
It's $2,000 for me to hold myself up. I offer you these 5 golds as a present, as
You
a
have another
nothing
5
more.
because Salem has your other 5.
Yeah, I
Don't
still
I, don't
have that.
don't I start with 15 and then since I'm noble I get another
You're
10?
a noble. You can start with whatever. I don't care. But you're bringing out another 5. What I'm saying is you're pulling out another 5 gold. So that's 10 gold technically. That's in the scene. We're going to have the bread.
Yes.
We'll have the bread equation at the end of this, just so we can.
I know the bread equation, sir.
But Salem doesn't.
It's a gold. It's a dragon.
You're glad.
You give it to the dragon. Sorry. One thing I know is dragons love gold.
That is true.
Of course, you weren't there for the time we took away part of a dragon horde. It took like 6 carts full to the brim, and still there was
yes.
almost twice that left over.
Sorry, you're right. The bread equation is important for Salem. I lay it down in front of him as an offering, and
You're gonna put it down in the water, in the marsh, because remember it's mucky. It's gonna sink right into the water.
I was gonna put on the stone.
The one
give me a
that you
second.
cleansed off, but you stepped away from it. You backed up away from it. You'd have to.
Can I cleanse another stone and then place it down?
You're gonna try to dig through the marsh to see if there's another one there.
I thought there was one.
Hey, Jacob.
I thought it was like a road.
Hey, Jacob.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I was playing my Xbox. Sorry.
It's all good, man. I was probably gonna play his other game.
Hi, Jacob.
Nothing,
wait, what?
nothing amazing happened yet. You're good.
What's that?
Alright.
They're about to get eaten by a dragon.
I'm gonna. Dang it, man.
Hey, I need to fix my wallpaper for the eating. It always does that.
Yeah, it always brings you back to this. That's just the way it goes.
Hold on.
Can I try to walk forward? Can I do another throw?
No, you ran.
Oh he can always. You're gonna try to re-enter the space. Okay, it'll be a disadvantage because you've already run from it twice. So you have to roll twice to take the worst of the 2.
Oh boy. Come here, baby. Okay. Well, that's
Okay, I got it.
cool.
Change your name to Jackson, Jacob.
Okay,
Yeah.
hang on.
I got a 17 at the first one, and then I got a 1 at the other one.
Yep.
Of course.
So
Run
you,
like a coward.
Yep. You really can't.
Can't move forward. All right.
Yeah, you can't forward. You can't move forward at all. However, you can dig around in the muck where you are, and it's like I said, since you backed off about 15 feet, you are past the edge of the stonework, so there's nothing there. So you dig around for a little while, and your hands and your arms are covered with the muck and mire of the marsh, but no luck in finding a stone.
All right. Can I? I'm gonna use sacred flame to dry the land on it, and then place the gold down.
Well,
And then back away.
There is no stone here, so the water and stuff will just fill back in.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't drain the water dry in this place enough for that.
What about putting it on top of one of those hexagonal stones that are
Right,
right
but
there?
he'd have to move forward to do that, and he just blew his roll.
Oh.
He's so terrified of the dragon that he's not able to walk forward. Now, as you guys are doing this, the area around you starts to feel visibly more bright as Miri and Cord walk up, because Miri basically creates this area of good feeling because she is a priest of life itself, and so just her being in the area gives this sense of existence and life in this place of darkness.
That dopamine.
Yep. Exactly.
Whoa. What a scene we have here. And I'll turn to the dragon and say in Draconic, "Hail and well met, Sentinel of the Swamp."
Wow! Do I see what I think I see before me? A Goliath, a green priest, and a warrior of the ways of the west.
You do.
So ways of
Why
the
do
east,
you
ways
say
of the,
that?
Ways of the east.
He says, "Why do you say that?"
Why do I say that? Do I not see this? You are a priestess of the green, are you not?
Yes.
Your eyes do not deceive you.
The dragon nods towards Miri in particular, and curls one of its claws forward in kind of its attempt to bow. Of course, with all of its girth and mass, it doesn't do a very good job of demonstrating that, other than to fall off balance and end up landing that foot in the marsh in front of it, which then splashes off of the stones. So you see still more of the hexagonal rocks.
In there. All right, Miri. You go ahead and talk to it. Him. Them.
We seem to be at an impasse here. We're trying to move north, and you are here. Is there some way that we can resolve this?
Well, as I was saying to your young associates here, and he points at Sayland and Malon, and just the very
Who's
fact
cowering
that he-
behind a tree?
Right. Just the very fact that he points at you, if you're cowering, you're gonna duck, which sounds like what Sayland's doing. But if Malon, are you gonna try to hold your ground when he points at you, or are you going to?
I gotta hold my ground, damn it.
Okay, go ahead. Now roll again. Yay.
With disadvantage again?
Nope, just a straight roll, 15. Yeah, because
Alright.
he's challenging you, so you got a little bit of ego involved here. So I'll get.
So this is a save.
He points at and says, "These have already stated your case, and as I explained to them, I didn't mean for there to be any major conflict, except that you may pass through the realms of Nerisian, but you cannot lead people here, nor can you build a road through my domain."
Well, that's
And while, by the way, I'm gonna whisper in Mirror ear everything that happened so far, and all the conversations we had.
he said he talked about a Goliath and Umara and myself before he ever saw us.
Yes.
She looks back to the dragon. So what foreseeing have you seen that named us before we came?
Let us say it this way. I have had the opportunity to have several of the Academy members over for dinner, and they explained that there were troublemakers that were causing them to flee from the Academy.
The Academy in Florin.
Yes.
I think these were the ones that were there first, that fled the trouble afterwards.
Did the trouble have anything to do with a winged man?
Yes. The angel in absentia, yes.
Aha, right. So I've heard your case. Sentinel of the Swamp. But if I may be so bold as to claim, you actually do want this road to go by your lair. Because I can offer you a deal. If you let us pass and make our road, I'm willing to help you set up a toll booth that will...
Do you think I really care about the mere pittances that traders carry?
That was worth a
I
shot.
like to be left alone in my solitude and to literally sit here and watch the trees rot.
All right, fair enough.
But a road passes this way, even here.
What? What are you
The road
suggesting?
under the water.
He looks down and turns his head a little bit, looks at the stones, and says, "Oh no, this is not a road. This is a cemetery.
Excuse me?
It's a cemetery."
Who built this cemetery?
Well, don't rightly know. I have been here since I was hatched from an egg, and the what were they called? Yeah, the Kuatoa fed me and cared for me and abused me and made me evil and gave me reasons to hate, and so I ate them and drove them off. Their descendants now live on the western, on the eastern flank of the Dragonbane Mountains.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
You guys do remember that. Umara shudders because she remembers swimming in the Ambrosia.
Oh yeah. No bueno.
Well, I'd have to apologize to you formally, because there already is a road. A couple miles back south, I have people building it, so I really can't do anything about what we've done so far.
You'll only be able to build it over my dead body.
I'm not going to build a road through your territory. Without your consent, at least. Here's an idea. If I tell the world where you are, I'm positive, 100% sure that no one is going to go anywhere near a dragon that is of your caliber, shall we say.
Oh, flattery. Flattery is a good tactic to use with dragons. Keep going. Tell me more.
You see, about 90% of the world is not foolish enough to challenge someone who has the amount of power that you wield. You see, you obviously haven't been outside the swamp. The world's changed since you were hatched out of your egg. There aren't any competitors of yours out there. So
What? Are you saying the dragons are dead?
No, I'm saying there aren't as many as there were when you hatched.
Well, I hope that bastard Regulus has died.
Well, I'm working on it.
No, he has not died.
No,
I
he
spoke
hasn't,
to him
yet.
not more than
You spoke to Regulus
not more than
Yeah.
a week ago.
a week ago?
Yep.
So you need to leave. I don't even want to be in my forest. If you've been with that bastard, he probably can find me now.
But if I eat the cheese pizza, I'm not gonna want the steak.
I didn't eat the cheese pizza. I had nothing to do with the cheese pizza.
Yeah.
God,
What is your problem with Regulus?
he's gold.
Sort of.
As I've said, times have changed. Regulus is turning.
Is he now?
Yes, he is.
And what, pray tell, led to that good news?
Greed. He has more gold in his mountain home than I've ever seen in one space in my entire life.
Really? Where's he staying now? Is he still in that rocky crag outside of Hell's Vault?
Same place.
Ah.
You should visit him.
The point I'm making is there's not much outside of this swamp of yours that could challenge you. And so if we put your name on the map, you will have all the more reclusion that you seek.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. Notoriety leads to gunslingers. Gunslingers lead to guys with sharp lances. Sharp lances lead to indigestion and hard to open cans.
Okay. I'll try one more time. We'll destroy the path that we've created if you let us through and then back again on our return. And we will say that this swamp is cursed.
That sounds fine with me. You still call it the curse of Nerisian.
Oh, I mean, yes. That's what I'm offering.
Destroy your road. Pass without hindrance. I'll go for that.
Okay. You need like a physical confirmation of our deal,
Lord?
or is verbal good? What, Miri?
Does that satisfy you? I have an alternative, but I'm
There we go. So Miri comes up and rubs your elbow and says, "You sure you want to do that?"
I am willing to do this because it
I
means
can.
furthering our mission.
She drops her voice very low. Turn around, please.
Okay.
I have the dragon orb. I can command him to let us build the road through.
There we go. I was waiting for it.
She was
Mary?
hoping. Yeah.
I feel like I need to be the voice of reason here, but that would be out of character. That sounds like a great idea.
She looks at you, a little moo on her mouth, but it's behind the mask.
Before we continue with this, he said he had two friends.
Umara, you see her actually motion towards the bag. You know that the dragon orb is in.
All right, I'll motion to
Do
Umara
I
over
know? Do I know if it requires a check or not
Yeah, you do know it requires a check for her to use.
for in her benefit or his?
No.
I'm gonna.
No. Okay. He has to make a saving throw against her charm, but it's going to be a disadvantage because she's actually got the orb in his presence. The bad news is that when she does that, she's invoking the powers of Tiamat, which means Tiamat will be aware that she used it, and therefore she'll be potentially open to possibly having to make a save.
Oh, okay, because I can only help with checks, not saves.
All right, I'm gonna bring the rest of us together. Okay.
Okay, it's a wisdom save, isn't it?
Nursian, don't go anywhere.
Do you have Owl's
away.
wisdom you can cast on me?
I do have Owl's wisdom, but it's checks only.
It's what?
It's only for checks.
To learn things
Guidance.
and study stuff, but not to make saves.
Okay.
You can do guidance on
I was
you.
asking.
Hold up, before we do this, so
Somebody's got
Jackson-
something
Jack-
going
Jackson,
on.
I think you've got the channel on. You need to either put yourself on mute or get headsets on so we're not hearing it. Thank you, Jackson.
so
We need a road. We need a road north.
Are we going after this thing? Is that what's going on?
No.
How about we
no.
tell it to go attack and take
Wait.
over the place?
You can go explain to him what you have because you'd have to invoke it if you're going to use it.
Okay,
I know.
right.
I have to blood it
so-
too.
To clear this up, Miri is in possession of an Orb of Dragon Kind, which is an artifact created by the dragon god Tiamat, which gives her the ability to control dragons. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah.
Control.
Command.
Right.
One of the things I can
Could
do
you
is command a
use
dragon.
that to order this dragon to go attack the dragon he doesn't like and to move there if he wins?
No.
Miri, I would say that the one flaw I can see in this plan is that
Serendef?
after the control wears off, we're going to have an angry black dragon at our backs as we hack our way through the swamp, and there's no way we can outrun it.
So we don't
what is
want it
your
at our
cleanup
back.
Okay, for
strategy?
clarification, she's not going to be casting charm. She is going to be dominating it, and it will not gainsay her because the power is coming from Tiamat itself. She's invoking the name of its god to make it follow her rules. It'll be pissed off, but it won't be pissed off at her. But it'll be pissed off, so it'll more than likely rampage and do some damage in the local area. But it's not going to affect the road, and it's not going to stop your advance.
Well,
So
I mean, Miri, I have a solution already worked out with it. If you want to try
No,
this,
don't
is up to
destroy the
you.
road. Don't destroy the road. Do you realize if we find out what's up there, we might need more than 6,000 men?
650 men.
Miri,
How will we have it come with us then? As a
Mary?
god?
No. The best
Mary.
thing to do is to just tell it to keep out of the way and the road passes through.
Miri,
No, he's going to attack us.
I want you to know, I am trusting the lives of 5,000 of my men to you right now. I'm going to let you make this call.
Okay.
Anyone else have any input before she does your thing.
John, like out of meta, like if she orders it to do my idea, would he have to do it or
Go with you? No. The problem
no?
is that
Not go with us, but go after the other dragon and stay there.
I don't know what you mean. You mean for it to attack Regulus because it knows
Yeah.
Regulus?
No, not Regulus. The other dark dragons.
No, Regulus.
In the
Isn't that the
swamp.
one that he hates?
Yeah, we're not gonna have him attack Regulus.
Regulus
No,
is an
I'm
ally. Regulus is one of your allies.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
Part of the
he's a
reason
buddy.
why Cord is as strong as he is that he read a book in the library. Of,
My modifier
Regulus.
didn't even change.
It still got you an extra +1. Yeah, it still got you an increase in strength, which is what you wanted. The fact
I'll
that it
take
turned you into a half dragon for a while wasn't my fault.
That's fair enough. Wait, can I still transform back into that? Or is
No, you
that
have to
Maybe if you-
actually re-access the book. Remember, because that one was a permanent change.
right?
The one
Okay.
the one that was temporary was the use of the prism that made you into a shadow.
Gotcha.
I feel like this is a bad idea. Like
obviously
it's gonna hurt not
Well,
just
You don't know.
Malon, the one thing that does bother you about this is showing a lack of sensitivity towards free will. They are enforcing their will upon a black dragon. But realize the black dragons are chaotic in nature and they don't tend to follow rules anyway. So your only best bet is to force something on it that it can't back out of, so that you can at least protect the roadway.
true. I was just worried about my sub gen that live near the area that are
Okay.
gonna be taken
She
as
takes out a dagger. She takes out the orb. She
Okay, when
takes
she
out a
takes out
dagger.
the orb, Umara, she just pulled out the orb.
All right.
How strongly do you feel about not using black magic? Because she's going to be using the power of Tiamat, an outsider demon. Remember,
Well,
because
I'm
Tiamat-
pretty neutral about situations. I'm lawful neutral.
right.
All right,
Uh,
everyone back
so
up.
my
I'm
line.
just clarifying. She's actually reaching for a power source beyond the realm of Nycos, because Tiamat
Well,
does not live here.
Even the prisms are beyond the realm of Nycos. So
Oh, nice. You had to go and mention that, didn't you?
you know,
Okay, Miri, before I
you,
let you do this,
you worded it that way, John.
Yes.
I know.
what is so? May I ask what's so special about this road?
And to be fair, Ralgram is also not of Nycos.
I know. This was
We
my-
need a road north that's safe.
That's
We
Umar's
know
answer.
the other road out of Florin is not safe to send troops on.
Miri,
Okay.
Miri.
We need a road north that's safe.
But
I
he's
do not.
asking about the these pinkish stones.
I don't know if that part of the road is safe.
Uh,
We could build alongside it.
I'm okay. No. So
at least give
I'm just
it
asking
food
about the road in
afterwards.
general. Why do we need a road? Is it really that important? We can come back later and build
There's-
around this dragon.
You know, right now you are marching an elite troop through with minimal support. If armies have to move up here, they will need support and wagons and artillery and everything else that we can bring to bear.
So you're gonna make a fortress here?
No,
No.
Okay.
Mary?
Mary?
Salen's got something to say.
Mary.
Okay.
Okay, here are both Mary and Cord. What about this? Is the swamp the only place we can go through? Or can we skirt around it?
Okay, so let me share with you the map real quick. Let me go ahead and pull it up just a second,
I'm kind of
Discord.
because this will be, I think, the first time you've actually got to see the map up in any detail. Salen and maybe even Steven hasn't seen the full map, so let me pull it up real quick here.
Full map? You mean the map you drew?
Yeah, the map of Nycos.
Are you putting it in Discord?
No, I'll just share it here. Just a second.
here at full screen.
Basically, the long way,
Also,
the place
considering
we're
as
in.
many miles as we traveled and built, to tear it all up again is
I was thinking more like burn it.
well.
I
It
agree.
won't.
I agree not to get rid of it. I just didn't know if there was another way around the swamp.
It's what you're looking at is almost a countrywide swamp.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, let me show you, and we'll talk about it once I get the map up. Da, 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 da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Share
Or maybe just a
screen map.
or maybe just a different point that we can go into.
Okay. Here's the map. And we are in this area. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Well, this is different than the one I have. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, wait, nope. Yep, it's different again.
Yeah, it's
What's that? It's Nycos. It's just a brighter colored version of the map. It's got all the names put in there. Florin is this V-shaped area right here.
where are we?
I'm trying to get it to zoom. Da, 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 da. Okay. So you are coming from. Let's see if I can draw.
About Florin.
You can annotate in the Zoom settings at the top of the screen.
Just put your mouse over where you're at.
Oh, you can see the mouse. Okay, I couldn't see the mouse. Okay, so Cauldron is here. This mountain range right here where the N and I are.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Cauldron was. And you guys were going
I
over
thought
to
it was on
Florin.
the.
Florin's about in the middle of this forest. And then you're going straight north.
Isn't Cauldron on the east side of the Mongol?
Yes, it's right there where the N is in Florin.
Oh, okay.
And this other mountain that's standing here by itself is High Peak. That's the mountain you went over to go see the...
Regulus.
No, that's High Peak. Regulus is actually here above the R, the mountain range above the R.
Okay.
That's where Hellvault is.
And we're
Okay.
trying to go to.
Well, you're just going north out of Florin, so you're basically passing through this marshy swamp area.
And where's the dragon at? Or us, I guess. Yeah, the dragon.
Well, the dragon is on the road in front of you. It's microcosmically a tiny spot in the center of a 49 square mile hex. Each of those hexes is 49 miles across. It takes 4 days by caravan to cross one of the hexes. So it's a really big area. So you're theoretically moving towards the white wastes up here.
How many, after giving this order to, allow us to build this road, how many villages are near this area that will be probably...
Don't know of any. This is all frontier. You've never been here before, so you don't know.
I know, I'm saying, but, out of a Meta.
We don't know.
In the Meta, the population of the planet is very verdant, so there's no way to know literally what's in the next hex until
All
you
right.
get there. So, I just wanted to clarify that you're pulling out the stone and you're about to do this fell magics.
Yeah.
So you're going to cut yourself and bleed on the stone,
Yes.
covering it with your own blood. This is nice.
All right, you're calm, Miri.
Nice thin
Okay,
film
everyone.
of blood over the outside of the sphere. As it does, it starts to glow with an unearthly reddish tone that shifts between the 5 colors of the evil dragons: red,
I
then
step
blue,
back.
then green, then white, then black.
I step back.
Salen finds the biggest rock to hide behind.
Yes, and once you finally get it to black, you can see Nerisian's face staring at you like daggers of death at you, because it knows what's coming.
You will let us pass. You will let us build the road. You will let others who pass on that road through safely without you ever touching them.
I will. And I will hunt you down and kill you one day.
I'm gonna start waving the ADT contract over my head. Not affiliated with any religion or ideal.
The dragon starts backing slowly basically pushing the sludge off the roadway backwards until it starts to climb a stair. And as it climbs the stair, it disappears into the underbrush, leaving you standing in that space. Beyond it now, because it's pushed the debris back, you can see that there is a low flat staircase, and it is actually meandered somewhat to the left of that, or to the west side of what appears to be a obsidian ziggurat, another religious type structure, similar to like an Aztec.
Yeah, building.
You feeling okay, Mary?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, so he had to make his save. He blew it. So now Jean gets to make her save. It's a DC 14, but because you are surrounded by allies and no longer in the presence of a dragon that isn't able to stand against you, you get advantage on the roll.
Okay. Well, since I'm plus 12 on my thing and I rolled 12, that's a 24, but that's on the first roll when I rolled 18 on the second, so it's a total of 30.
You basically shove Tiamat back in the box, and you guys can hear her fivefold screams echoing from the stone itself as she pushes it back into its pouch.
Hell yeah. Well, that went off pretty well.
She just kind of stands there for a moment, gathering herself. It's kind of rough.
Okay, so now you can go back and investigate or take more time to look at the stones, because you can actually figure out where the edge of the stones are.
Bring up one of your wizards and see if this thing is magical.
I'm gonna.
It is. It has a good and evil part of its structure. The gold is good, and the silver has evil in it.
Hey Jackson, I thought you had an X in your name.
Yeah, you had a Jaxon.
Jaxson or Jaxson. Yeah, Jaxson, I think.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm gonna take the gold back from Murak.
no, my character name on my character sheet it has is CK in it, not X.
Okay, I always had it in my head that you were Jaxson, but that's okay.
Okay.
Maybe just hit the X instead of the C.
Maybe
they're next to each other.
I know. I think last week I put up his name instead of him. That's probably what happened. Also realize that we have been through a couple of changes in time, so it may have been spelled XSON at some point in the past. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
No.
At least it's not a fish joke, I guess.
All right.
Right now, I have to change my notes.
No, just change it as of today that it changed, because there have been things that have been going
Jackson
on.
became Jackson.
Yes.
Boy, what a significant change.
Hey, butterfly effect. He could, destroy the world.
Yeah, now he could all of a sudden become.
So now that I have the gold back from.
And she heals herself.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Assailant still has your other.
Yeah, I went to go get it.
Okay, so
I'm keeping a hold of that.
You're going to keep a hold of it?
I'm keeping a hold of it.
He goes, it's okay. I'll hold it in case you need to spend it again later.
Yeah.
And I look towards the commander. I believe one of your soldiers are stealing from a noble.
Did you donate it?
I didn't donate to him. I offered it to the dragon.
It's my payment. It's my payment for walking with him.
No, it was not. Your payment is to work.
All right. I'm going to take 5 gold pieces out of my bag and hand it to Melon Ball.
Okay, so Melon Ball, you get $5 bribe from the commander of the army.
No, I'm just taking it out of your paycheck. Selland.
Well, fine. Here, take it back.
No, he's already paid him off.
Okay, so let's do the
before you say that, yeah.
Let's do the bread equation so Salem realizes what keeping the 5 gold pieces would mean.
I know. I have an idea.
Okay, yeah. Dungeons and Dragons normally 10 copper make a silver, 10 silver make a gold. But on Nycos, inflation has struck heavily, and so it takes 100 copper to make a silver and 100 a silver to make a gold. It takes 100 gold to make a platinum, 100 platinum to make a
Like a
crown,
crown.
and 100 crowns to make a dragon. So if you have a coin known as a dragon, you have 1,000,000 gold pieces in your hand.
Right. So I'm just gonna I'd rather have my pay and just give it to him. I'll just give it back.
Then you have to give the 5 gold back to the
Right, he does.
commander.
He's kind of reluctantly getting. Okay.
Or who I give the 5 gold to whomever
You know what?
needs it, I guess. Whoever it's
Wait a
gonna go
minute.
to.
Just give it to your commander. He's the one that.
You're still getting your 5 silvers a month. What's your pay for sergeant's cord?
It's 2 gold pieces. Nah, you can keep it. Great bravery in the line of duty and all that. It's
Oh.
not an average man that can stare down a black dragon.
Oh, very well done.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and I go back. I go to where last I saw the dragon. I put down 10 gold, and I say, "This is for you."
So
Our
you're
fish-
walking forward to the temple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go there, I'm gonna send someone back to tell the army what happened.
Okay, as you're walking down the road, each step you take causes the stones under the marshy stuff to glow a little brighter. And after about the 4th step, the stones start to rise out of the marsh.
Okay, I'm running back. I'm running back now.
Wow.
No,
No.
she's watching.
Okay, so
Sure.
he steps forward like 4 or 5 of the stones, and the stones behind him are rising out of the marsh. And he turns to run back towards you, and you shout, "Don't!"
Well, only because you might trip. They're rising up. I mean, if he puts his foot down on all.
Yeah. So for clarification, they only rise up about 4 inches, which gets them out of the marsh.
Oh, I thought they're like stepping stones.
Yeah, well, they kind of look like that. Only they look like they might be actually columns because when they rise up out, you don't see the bottom of them. So literally, you see the edge go down into the marsh, and
Oh, well, then I step on it.
the luminescent nature of the stones allows you a little bit more detail to the murky objects inside of each one.
Oh, well then never mind. I'm gonna keep on walking. If it's like stairs, I'm gonna walk up.
Okay, so when you make it to the stairs, you now have given a complete raised roadway to your friends. So it's a 20-foot wide roadway. So it's 3 of these stones diagonally across the space. So there are 3 times 100. Yeah, there's I'm sorry, into 100. There's 38 of these stones that you've revealed so far. And they all have similar coloration and consistency, and they all have that weird lead-like coating over the outside of them. Kind of eerily like looking at a beehive. You're looking at like the cells of a beehive. With
Oh.
the waxy stuff being the wax.
I love that. That's awesome. That's cool.
Mary walks forward and puts her hand on one of the cells and does
So
it.
you take off your glove?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, the dark thing inside seems to shift, like it's in a murky, almost it's a viscous, barely opaque material. As it drifts to the top of a massive insect head bounces against the inside of the container. It's probably twice as wide as a human head. The multifaceted eyes are all little tiny hexes as well, making up a little domes, like geodesic domes for its eyes. And
Tim,
it's
this-
articulated-
I know this is not a normal spell, but she wants to detect life.
Okay, we're attempting a new spell. Alrighty. So what level of spell are you going to burn to attempt this? Because you could almost
4th
do it as
level.
a cantrip for if you were touching a body to see whether it was alive or dead. But you're trying to detect something at a distance of a good 4 inches underneath the
Yeah.
waxy material.
Yeah, so she'll use a 4th level spell.
All right. So you're attempting to cast a 4th level spell and creating the first of Mary's 4th level spells, calling it Detect Life.
Yeah, and then
Go
and the
ahead
nature
and
of
go ahead and
what I want more is the nature of the life.
well, that's what just like
Yeah.
detect evil tells you creature type. This will tell you
Okay.
kind of life. So DC 14. Well, what
Well,
is
I
your
rolled
DC? What is your actual DC?
16. The DC on my spell at 4th level. Let me find it. I should have it here. My DC is. Oh God, I forgot this. The thing for the DC.
It's
Um,
8 plus your proficiency,
8
plus your wisdom.
proficiency plus wisdom.
Okay. My wisdom is now 24. It's at the max because of my last 2 points went in there.
So that would make it a plus 6.
Yeah. It's
Plus
a plus 7.
7 plus the 3 for
Actually, no. Wait. Yeah, plus 7.
7
And
plus the 3 for proficiency makes it a plus 12. I mean,
Plus the
plus
6.
10.
yeah,
I thought it was only plus 6 because it's 1 for every 2.
7 and 6. It's 13 now. It's 13.
That's a 21.
So it's 21
Yeah.
plus 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are detecting a life form of which you have not experienced except for tracks.
Except for what?
Tracks. The one that one that came to visit you.
Oh no.
Oh yes. You have found
Was
what
that-
happened to the people of Tracks. Remember he who told you he lost a battle, that his city had fallen?
Yeah.
This is one of his.
And they've been trapped in here.
Inside of the cell. And what's weirder is that you detect life. So the thing in there is alive.
Is
So the
there-
head is alive.
Has been buried end up. A 6-sided columnar piece. Umara, you don't have to worry about the saving throws anymore, but we already talked about the fact that you have some vestigial insight. This should terrify you.
Yeah, I'm a little squeamish at this point.
No, remember the one that you opened, and that's where the head came from that led to all the Dayan mischief?
Oh yeah.
People were taking stuff out of it, and what's the name got his hand blown off?
Right.
Yeah, this is a scary thing.
What?
Oh, all right.
What I don't understand, what I don't know. Okay.
Wait, wouldn't I not know because I'm not connected to that anymore?
That's why I said you still have you don't have the memories anymore. It's just the physical aversion to it. You just know
so
this
my
is not
body
right.
is
Yeah,
my body is reacting
right.
fight or flight.
Run away.
This is like if you had a fear of spiders and somebody handed you a tarantula.
And
The fight or
that
flight.
yeah.
She looks at you. It's living, but I don't know what it is. It
do.
looks like an insect. The head seems familiar to the Dayan elf who came through. What is it?
I don't know. It looks like tracks.
Oh.
It's reminiscent. Remember, his head was weirdly shaped for an elf.
Well, yeah, sure, but that's how I would say it.
Is this one of his sort, or is this something else?
Just so I remember, Trax is the elven guy who was like a bug who got lost in time and came to our place. Just
Right.
for clarification.
Right.
Yeah,
and also for the edification of the rest of the players who don't know what the hell we're talking about. Exactly.
Yeah.
It had its body shape was more like an insect. It had a very thin, it had a broad abdomen and a narrow thorax, and then wore its clothing to cover the lower part of its body, so you really didn't know that much about it. It wore like almost like a skirt.
And it was once a high elf, and now it's a hive-minded creature.
Is this the only one that's appearing, or is that?
No,
that. There are 33 of those. I'm sorry, 38 of those hexes.
Bodies.
Where is the temple like in the middle? Like
Yep,
the
the
thing?
temple is at the end of the road. The road actually leads to the
Yeah,
foot of the
just
temple.
forget the temple for right now. That's not my concern. I will have to do a commune and see what I should do. For I certainly do not want to loose evil upon the world. I do. Oh,
That
she
message.
uses divine sense.
Divine sense gives you, whether it's
Good or evil.
specific though, that gives you whether it's celestial or I'm trying to think of the specifics of it. So it gives you celestial or infernal or abyssal, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't give you any of those.
That just sounds bad.
Does anybody have message? Maybe you can ask it.
No, would you trust somebody to tell you the truth? It was
Well,
trapped
you have
in.
an army. You've got 13 dudes right here. You could excavate one of these if you wanted.
Okay, let's do that. Cord, let's
Maybe
get
bring
one
an army.
excavated.
I'm gonna. Okay, well, in my kit, each man has a shovel.
They start digging almost immediately, and it takes a while because of the marsh and the muck. But they get it dug down to the side where they can see that the thing is about 8 feet long and perfectly hexagonal, like a hexagonal column. And the end of it, the bottom end, is shaped more like a point, like literally could have been driven into the ground, like something pushed it into its space. But the issue is that it's still got the silvery stuff, and the silvery stuff is connecting it to the next two in the group. So
All right.
how are you going to tear it apart, tear it out of that one?
Can we burn it or melt the wax?
It's not wax, it's a lead-like material.
Oh, it's a lovely.
Oh wait, is this Vex? Does it look like Vex?
It doesn't. Well, it's dull gray. It's not the shiny silver you're used to.
So it's a
It was
different.
a pinkish color.
No,
It's-
the
I still
tube-
have to do
the tube-
commune. I
the
go
tube
off
is
someplace
pinkish.
where I can get a free spot, and I do a commune.
Okay.
I'm gonna. While she's doing that, I'm gonna send for one of the wizards that I brought along.
All right.
Preferably one that can
Hey,
cast.
Salem, what did you decide your background was? What character class type are you? Are you a rangery or are you going with?
I'm a ranger with a soldier background. I've kind of grown up in the army.
Nice. You are the ultimate scout. Gotcha. All right.
The ultimate.
Okay, so yeah, the one thing you do remember from a natural standpoint is that when dealing with like beehives and stuff like that, the honey is the stuff that drips around the outside. It doesn't actually fill the spaces. Inside the spaces are things that feed off of the honey, and that the waxy like material is actually a byproduct of a living thing.
So what you're saying is we got an Aragorn here.
Hey,
What?
Oh, what?
Aragorn.
Yes, you have an Aragorn.
What's an Aragorn?
It's Salem
Yeah.
is Aragorn. He's like Strider Aragorn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you full human, elvish, half elvish? What's your race?
Human. I'm full outright human.
All right. So he actually is Numenorian. He's of an ancient human species. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Umara, I'm at a loss. I do not know what these things are. Do you have any idea what they are? Do you
doesn't.
have any?
Remember, she's only a pretty low level druid. I think she's only second in druid.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's the only thing I can do is do a commune.
All right.
Call on there it is.
So you're a funny girl. Casting. Describe to me how commune works. What is that? That the question was? I don't remember.
Yeah, that is the question ones, but she talks more directly to him probably than just questions. I mean, that has been her way, is to, we're having a conversation
Okay.
and say, this is my problem. I have no knowledge of these things. I have no. Um, I've done what I can do to gain information about them, but is it a good thing or a bad thing to release them?
If you don't
I,
know what it is,
Never release it.
why should you? Why should? Well, if you don't know what it is, A, why would you release it? And B, if you don't know what it is, how can you find out what it is unless you release it?
Like I
True.
said, talk to it first, and then find out what to do next.
I probably wouldn't have any idea what this thing is.
No, but you do know
No,
that
no.
that the waxy stuff that seals the end of beeswax is a
Also,
softer material.
I would like to note that I probably had my scribe on my shoulders.
No doubt. No doubt.
they're living things, and they've been trapped here. But I don't want to release anything on Nycos that will cause her harm.
Too bad we can't talk to a god. Ask for.
Will
input.
this cause Nycos harm? To release them.
One, no.
What about all 38?
She didn't ask the question. She has
No.
to ask it. He
Okay,
asked
what-
it, so you have to repeat it. If you...
Asking
There's
her, what about
more-
all
yeah.
38?
Oh, yeah. What about if all 38 were released?
More than 6 constitutes a hex. More than 10, more than 1 hex suggests a hive. And if any happen to be queen, you could be starting a nest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
We
right.
will-
I'd forgotten that. Melon, the first time you've noticed it, there's actually a rabbit in clothing, basically huddled on Umara's shoulder, holding onto her tight, kind of like a little kid would scrabble onto their parent's back. It's a
I probably noticed halfway, or like less than halfway into our travels, that he's been struggling, so I just let him on my shoulders.
Oh, sir.
So he's got his big rabbit feet hanging over her shoulders.
Okay. I think we can release one. Thank you very much, Veritas.
You
I hope-
looked up and said hello, sir, to the rabbit.
Yes.
Fiverr goes, sir, me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
All second gens deserve recognition.
Umara, is it okay?
I mean, what you
Okay,
call
we
each
got-
other.
He called me sir.
Sir is a sign of
Respect.
respect.
I know, but I'm a young one, and only one of 100 in my brood.
Well, right now you're not in that group.
You're my rabbit.
Ah. Hello, fish. How are you?
I am good, young rabbit. What's his race?
Leporini's a rabbit.
Okay, Leporine.
Rabbit folk.
Rabbit folk.
Yeah,
Hello.
they wear coveralls. Overalls. They got the little flap in the front, but they also have a flap in the back because rabbits have this little problem. You see, they have to eat food twice.
Ah,
So they're considered by most to be kind of a dirty race because they're perfectly fine reaching back into the flap and then bring it back around front and munching on it. It's a little disturbing to watch.
Yummy.
Oh,
Sarcastically.
her last question to him is, I pray that I am serving you well.
You are serving Nycos well.
Thank you.
Ask your god for feedback on invoking another god to control a dragon.
ooh,
Ooh,
Ooh, probably
Oh.
not.
no, don't do that.
no, it's something that there was a need, and that's the only reason I did it. Because we're going to need this road. I mean, we're going to need
All right.
this road.
So, like I said, you've cleared out enough that you could get it out if only you can pry it from the rest. Are you going to try to use crowbars, or are you going to try to,
I'm gonna grab it.
Would we try to find the queen and kill it instead? I mean, since we gotta.
We're gonna talk to this drone first.
I'm gonna talk to whatever one we have.
Okay, so
Away from
you
the
notice
other.
that Umara leans down next to it and starts to manipulate the edge of the grayish material where the two are connected. You notice that as she does so, the material does tend to be pliable after a few seconds of her moving it. It's almost like it's
A
warm
hard
to
wax
touch.
that warms up
Yeah.
and becomes more pliable. Okay.
So you want to retry your fire blast there that you used earlier, Melon?
Sure. I will use Sacred Flame and.
It does do fire heat damage. So as you do that, it will soften it somewhat so that it becomes more pliable, but it also tends to scorch and mar the outer surface of the cell. When that happens, the creature inside descends back into the effluvia inside, moving away from the surface, so it becomes more murky.
Yeah,
I think
don't do
we
that.
need a more
Nobody
targeted.
even caught your pun there, Umara. Go ahead and tell him out loud, because I don't think I'm reading.
I spelt need with a K.
Oh,
So she's
Nice.
needing. So she really needs a BP.
Yay!
Though for Salen's note, whenever you come up with something particularly useful in story or whatever, such as, for example, your bravery in facing the dragon. I didn't give it to you earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and retroactively give you a BP for that bravery, because I didn't realize at the time you were technically a level 1. So if you're going to put it at the top of your character sheet, just put the letters BP and then keep tally marks.
B as in bonus point.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So in D&D, you can use inspiration periodically. When you do that, a character is allowed to make a reroll. A BP is for yourself. You can force me to reroll one.
Like if he got you with a crit or a
Right.
really bad attack.
Or you can stack them. So you could have 3 or 4 of them and add them all as a modifier on a dice roll in advance. So you say
nice.
My next die roll is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and burn 3 BPs to get a +3 on the die roll.
Yeah, sadly, you can only use it to help your teammates.
You can only use it to help yourself specifically, unless you burn multiples. And if you burn 3, you can give 1 BP bonus to somebody else.
Are you still keeping the experience point rule or no?
Yes, and they're worth exactly 25 experience points, which is not enough to help in any particular case. But I've seen players actually decide to use it when they had, a sizable number of them to make a level or whatever, because I didn't quite give enough experience to make whatever.
Let's not try.
Had a biology to just make someone reroll.
Yeah.
Someone special.
Right.
No, I'm joking.
You also can use your name. At the game shop, we use a little name tag, and when you use it, you lay it down. What we've been doing is putting a question mark instead of our name that says that I've already used.
Like Malon should have a question mark after his name.
I also heard you can name tag conversations.
Oh, that's hysterical. Yes, that was actually a clever situation where they felt like the conversation went the wrong direction. It became a thing only for this group in particular to use.
Nice.
To name tag a conversation. Say, oh, I didn't really say that, because quite often players will say stuff in game without realizing that the NPCs or the bad guys could hear it, and therefore they would use their name tag to prevent that.
Nice.
So, I just have this kind of out of the box, non-magical thinking here. Why don't we try to open this carefully with, I don't know, a blade?
Oh, there we go. Going to try to cut a knife into the soapstone or into the waxy stone?
Oh, I have a blade that will work, but you'll have to be careful.
Oh yeah.
I got my own.
Yeah,
I could try that.
Yeah, but when you go to pull out your regular knife, she reaches to her hip and pulls out a blade that when you look at it edge on, you can't even see it. It's literally it's a Vorpal blade. So it basically
It's a monomolecular blade.
So it's
It
literally
is
one
one.
molecule thick. One molecule of steel thick. So it cuts through things like butter. But
Okay.
but it can actually be used in combat, and it has a chance on a 15 or better of lopping off limbs and heads and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. I want that.
Yeah, it's a terrifyingly powerful weapon.
Don't
She's been
let
very
it
judicious.
slip.
They've never gotten into a fight where they broke it out and actually used it for its full effect. So
Hey, if I had that thing, it would come out when I didn't need it.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I got a very special scabbard, so it doesn't cut its way out of its scabbard. Anyway,
Well,
But it's
We- we
enough.
can look-
It could actually do what you're talking about doing. If you wanted to use it, you could try to cut through this waxy material with it.
Because that may give us a focus enough to cut through it and not harm what's underneath.
yeah, so you want to just use the tip of the blade to,
Well, up to the width of the space, which would be the full blade. If you're
Yeah.
going to try to cut through it all at once, or you can just make little nicks and eventually cut through it, perforate it. Take you hours that way, but.
no, just put the blade in and then start
Okay.
it down.
So go ahead and you're going to give that to Sayland, or are you going to do it yourself, Mary?
I'll do it myself.
Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
She does have a couple of levels of paladin, so she at least knows how to use a blade.
Yeah.
She's got to be careful not to accidentally say the word smite while she's at it.
okay,
Okay, so after a good half an hour, you're able to finally pull this thing completely out, separated from the others, leaving the waxy stuff on both sides to protect both of the other cells as well. So you now have one full cell extricated, laying on its side in the muck.
no, she gets it up out of the muck somehow.
You can't. The muck
It's
is
all
laying on
muck.
the ground. You have to actually build a platform or put it on top of the others.
Put it on top of the others.
Well, while she's doing that, just on the defensive side, because that's the way I am, I've got my bow knocked and ready.
Right.
Just in case.
You're watching in case the dragon gets uppity and comes back or something. I got you. So you got your bow out.
If that thing happens to turn and wake up and be mad at us, I'm going to shoot it.
Okay, so you now have basically the tomb, the little individual cell, laying on its side on top of the others.
Right, open it.
We got the one cell?
Yeah, just the one cell.
Okay.
And as you lay it across the others, you'll notice that the waxy material, wherever it comes in contact with the other cells beneath it, when it comes across their edges, they also then fuse together.
They group together?
They fuse, they reconnect.
Oh.
The waxy material reaches for itself, basically.
Oh, then she'll have to find another place to put it.
You can take it up to the stairs.
Yeah, I'll take it upstairs.
Where I'm at.
She takes it up to the first clean step.
Well, you have to clear the steps because they're all covered with debris and brambles and kudzu and everything.
She'll ask Salem if he'll go ahead and clear the steps.
It's late afternoon. The army's actually finished making their way to this point, so that the roadway is coherent all the way to the crystalline, the road of cells, I guess we'll call it. The honeycombed road. That sounds good too.
Yeah. I don't think we should cover over this, but I don't think the road should go on top of it either. I think we need to swing the road around this and then continue north.
Well,
Maybe
you wouldn't be able to
build a
go
wall.
straight unless you're going to climb right over the top of the ziggurat anyway.
Simple.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to go around that. Enough of a detour so it's an easy curve. It's not hard to make. And
when you removed the last part of the waxy material to pull this unit from the ground, the two orbs start to rotate. One to the clockwise, the one on the left, the paler white one, will turn clockwise. The other one turning counterclockwise.
Get away from this.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Cool.
she lays her hand on.
I don't like it. Cool.
She lays her hand on the creature.
On the box? You mean it's not out of the container? It's just.
It's not out of its container yet.
No, you just took the container and separated it from the other containers and brought it up put it on this landing on its side. so that you can see the full length of the creature inside. It looks like it's suspended. The way you've positioned it is that it is face up. It's 6 appendages. The lower 2 are folded up towards the bottom of the body in such a way that it looks like a shiny covering, and the arms are folded over its thorax like 2 pairs of arms.
Okay.
The antenna for its head are sleek back over its what would be its shoulders and run along its length back underneath it.
Okay. What I guess she's going to do is just open up one of the facets, the top facets. It's a hexagonal.
Okay.
She will.
So you're going to use
Now
you're going to use the monomolecular blade to cut through the wax into the cell itself.
Yes.
Before she opens the cell, I'm gonna get behind the orbs. The orb.
Well, you're
thing.
okay. So the orbs are
This
out.
is this is an owl.
Say that again.
What is this? An owl?
No, an orb on 2 pillars.
There's 2 obelisks with the spheres turning at the tops of them.
One white, one black. One reads as slightly good. The other one that reads as slightly evil.
Oh, balance of good
So-
and evil.
I wonder if this thing is more neutral than leans one way or the other.
We will have to find out.
Okay. So you're slowly carving through the gray material, and as you finish,
I'm like zeroed in on this thing just in case.
right, standing over it, bow pointing at its face, no doubt. I'm going to shoot you right in the head. So
Open it.
So as you cut along that edge, when you finally make it to the bottom, the gray does something kind of odd. It curls on itself, pulling away from that edge along the top, so that it's rolling almost like parchment, and it rolls until there is basically a small column of gray along the left-hand side, and the pinkish material that you can see now, looking at it from the edge on, is about 4 inches thick at the top and the bottom. But as you've as this material pulled back, you see actually the soupy liquid inside.
Okay.
The aroma of it, Omara, make a this would be a perception check, and Cord can make it as well.
All right, that's gonna be a +8.
And Jackson, did you go down and deal with the? Were you there when they dealt with the Kuotoa?
Kuatoa.
Do you remember the Kuotoa encounters? I think you came in after that, but I'm not sure.
I have a cat mugging me, but not a 90-pound dog.
At a 22.
Yeah, I see that. It smells like the amaranth elixir. Now,
Amaranth?
Now Salen gets a BP. Anyone craving honeycomb right now?
Oh no.
No, she's
the-
more
the-
focused on.
So the
Just
the aroma that comes up out of this container smells positively heavenly. It smells like cotton candy wine. For lack
Oh
of
my god.
question to
Hey,
everyone.
Barry,
Better to
go get me some of that.
No.
What was that, Salen?
I didn't say anything. I think it was Corey
Jackson did. Jackson was
or
saying.
Jackson.
What
Yeah,
you say, Jackson?
yeah.
You
After
remember
they kill the
Kuotoa?
thing, bring me some of that.
Huh?
Do you remember
Sorry,
them facing the Kuotoa? I just want to know if you were there. When Umara blew all 4 of her saving throws, almost died?
I don't remember.
Okay, so no. Okay,
But question to everyone: which is better to eat, the honeycomb or the honey itself?
Honey? Oh,
In this case, it's not honey, and it's not honeycomb.
No.
Neither.
The
The honeycomb.
cone,
Oh,
I
just a
guess?
random question.
Oh.
The honey.
The cone. Honestly.
The honeycomb.
the honeycomb actually has a lot more proteins to it. so it's actually better for you. But the part that
I never
actually,
try it.
oh, actually,
I
you
never
can buy
try.
it. You can go to grocery stores and buy chunks of honeycomb.
Well, you go to all natural
Yeah,
stores.
that too.
There's some honey you can buy with honeycomb in it.
It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but honeycomb on toast kind of sucks ass. If I'm being
well, yeah,
honest.
it's a little thicker, so it's harder to spread.
I'm gonna suggest against eating anything because it might be contaminated with the
But it
thing
smells. It smells
thing that
so
killed me. I am fighting my urges right now. I'm
Making a con
this is a
check.
this is a PTSD moment for me.
Not only that, as you're looking down at it, the insectoid floats to the surface.
Question: does this attract the dragon?
It does not.
Okay.
This is the least of our concerns right now. All right, I'm gonna go over to the body and I'm gonna wave in its face.
I tried. Lord knows I tried.
Yeah, it doesn't respond at all. Furthermore,
Great.
other pieces, other things, float to the surface down near the legs, because it's narrower at that part. These grayish, really undefinable shapes, made out of the same waxy material, float up around it. So it's like it was interred with its belongings.
Where's
Okay.
that wizard?
Are the herbs doing anything?
What's that?
Are the orbs doing anything?
Orbs are still spinning,
Hmm.
just slowly, and there's a grinding sound as the stone on stone, as they spin.
I said we try to wake it up and see what it knows.
She'll give it
What it was like.
a cure light wounds. She'll do it at second level to see if
So
it
you're gonna
helps.
reach in and touch its sticky, gooey surface.
And then lick your finger because it's so
Yeah.
delicious.
She'll reach in and touch it.
Okay.
That or tip the thing so that the liquid pours out, so it's
Don't waste the
free.
liquid.
Yeah. Now, Amara should be like really freaking out because you suggest that, and two of the soldiers come over to put their shoulders into it to roll it if you want.
The-
Do you want it rolled so that it pours out?
No. I
I
got
would
this.
suggest
Jeez.
not.
So Court's
Okay.
gonna reach in and grab it while Miri is touching it.
No.
Okay, so Miri, you go in and first and lay on hands, and as you do, its upper pair of hands unfold and grab your hand with both hands. So it literally grabs your arm like this, and
Okay.
Bites
you
you.
see a vision as it's touching you of thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of these things flying, marching, engaging with humans and elves and dwarves in some kind of a battle. There's
Are they with the elves and humans or against them?
no, it looks like they are fighting in a defensive posture, protecting the ziggurat from from these interlopers. And as the hand is in contact with you, make a wisdom save.
When she does that, can I do a reaction?
Sure. What's your
Hey,
reaction?
Because I'm already ready.
Yep, you got the bow knocked and drawn. She actually is in
And-
there. You can hear in the phraseology of the spell she's casting. It sounds like a helpful spell, but it grabs her. So what do you do?
Nature is that's bad, and I'll basically release the arrow as a
Okay.
protective measure.
Ah,
Roll to hit. It's prone, so any hit will count as a crit.
can I try? If I hear the bow snap, can I try to deflect the bow or cover the guy?
Is this just a straight up roll?
Yep. You get to add your wisdom if you have you're a ranger, so you get a wisdom proficiency bonus to the save. Not you're not
For the save?
You're not a save. You're rolling to hit. So just roll to hit. You're going to add your dex modifier and your proficiency.
Yeah, but you're a soldier.
It's gonna
too.
be a 4 or an 8. Sorry, 8 total.
Okay,
I rolled
so you're
shitty.
kind of spooked by it, so you shoot into the wax. You hit it with enough force though that the arrow tip goes through the other side, and so now the wax, the sweet elixir type liquid is starting to drip out, and it drips with about the speed and consistency of honey. So it's just kind of trickling along the arrow tip.
Yeah, get some of that.
And she calls out, "No, I'm okay. It's showing me something."
When he did fire it though, it releases your arm and lets go.
Backs the fuck off.
I mean you no harm. Try to get you out of here and find out who you are. She just talks softly and calmly.
It's just laying
It
there.
was okay. She does try to lay on hands. You know, I mean,
You already had cast it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You cast the spell, and when you cast the spell, it grabbed you.
okay.
So go ahead and
Lesser res it.
Oh, my save
Yeah, no,
was
how many hit points did you give it?
I did it at second level, so that's that's 3d8, 2d8 plus 1d8.
Okay.
So let me get my d8 out. I could have had a d8. I
I
had a
got.
D8.
I have 3 of them right here. If you want me to roll it for you.
That's okay. I got it right here.
Yeah, it's funny how even though we're playing at distance and all of that, everybody's like, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That should be
I
our.
got a 774, so that's 18 points.
Plus 1 per die because you're a priest, right?
1 per dice. So yeah, that would be 21 points.
21 points. Okay.
If not, I will use the heal on it.
No,
No, please wake up and come.
the liquid is still trickling out of the hole in the bottom.
Mm.
I'm gonna stop the hole.
From the outside? Sure.
Yep.
Take some of the gray stuff, push it back into the hole, and plug it up. Okay.
Yep.
Lick your fingers.
Boy,
No.
he really wants to taste this stuff, doesn't he?
I succeeded on my con save.
There wasn't any. You're good. You pushed it in. That's fine.
There are some things in this world you don't want to try.
Fred tried a few things.
When somebody that powerful tells me I don't want to try it, I tend to listen.
Only
Oh, boy.
because I know I have
Okay.
drank
So you're
ambrosia.
gonna reach into the goo and pull it out, Cord, or how are you gonna get out of the little tank?
I'll lift it up. I have enough strength to at least get it sitting upright. And hopefully it will get on its own legs.
Okay, so Amara, what happened was everybody decided they're making this roadway straight north out of Florin because they're wanting to find out what the nature is of the opposition that they're facing to the north. Since you have no clue, you came looking. And so as they were going, Cord decided part of his legacy would be to build a roadway. So he's been having his soldiers not only clear the path,
Okay,
but make a road.
that makes it sound like I decided that a road was going to be part of my legacy.
Yeah.
I decided to build a road. I didn't. It had
Yeah, I
nothing
know
to do
you
with my
didn't
legacy.
take it. I know you didn't, but the others see it as that. This is.
All right.
And you're
It
gonna
is
call
your
it a sword
contribution
road.
tonight.
Can we use a word other than others?
Freeway.
Good point.
That's not confusing at all.
The locals don't even know what the others are. They may have heard the broadcast, but they don't really get it anyway. So.
I mean, maybe exposing it to air will wake it up. Could be drowning. I don't know. So I'm gonna reach in and pull it out of the itself.
If you'll help me, we'll get him up, his torso upright, and see if that won't bring him back to us.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach in under his torso and under his legs and just lift him out.
And as you do, you feel what you see is it looks like he has a cloak that goes down basically to the bottom of his knees, but that's kind of curved. so that it's form-fitting on the shoulders and seems to go down and curve right there at his ankles. But when you go to lift him up by that, you realize that it's a carapace. It's actually like a shield on his back. So he's more like a giant cockroach than anything else as far as his physical appearance when you pull him out. He literally
So
looks
he
like
definitely.
it's like you pulled a pupil form of a developing cockroach out of its cell.
Oh no.
Things in like last nukes, man.
And your arms and hands are now covered with that sweet-smelling material. And when it comes in contact with your flesh, and this applies to Miri as well, it felt kind of the way, I think it's called tea tree extract feels. It's actually
Oily.
and warming feel at the same time. It actually feels really good.
Okay, I know that I've made a mind block, but I'm going to try to touch him mind to mind. She puts her hand on his forehead and
You're
says,
reaching for his forehead, but he really doesn't have a forehead. Remember, his eyes make up the majority of the top of his head. There's a small, narrow space between them that quivers a bit as your hand approaches, almost like mucus.
It touches his butt. That's where the brain's at for bugs usually.
Anyway, she puts a finger between his eyes and says, "We mean you no harm. Should we put you back,
Well,
or do you want?"
You pulled him out. Are you laying him on the ground? What are you doing with him? You got him. You're still carrying him at this point, Gene. You haven't let him go. You're at one end and cords at the other. What are you going to do with him? You've lifted him up and out. The soup is dripping back into the container for the most part. Some of it's sloshing on the left and right side.
Okay, carry him up to the second step and lay him out.
You're going to call for the guards to clear that space too before you lay him down, or you lay him down in the debris?
No, not in the debris.
Okay.
And then she'll bring out her bedroll. You have a bedroll. She'll say, "Somebody give me a blanket." She lays it out, folded up.
I don't think we should dry him out, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so you're
not a good idea.
laying him down on the blanket though.
Yeah.
Okay. Stretch out to full length with his legs still folded. He's still almost 6.5 feet tall, but he weighed almost nothing. He may have weighed 120 pounds.
Okay.
All told. So it was really easy to lift him out. The liquid actually was heavier, and as it ran off of him and filled in the space underneath him, those extra items and stuff that were near his feet drift slowly up inside the container as well, so that they're bobbing on the surface of the liquid inside of the cell as you lay him down beside the cell.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with those right now. If they're important to him, we can get them later.
Mm.
She does a medicine check, a medical check.
Okay.
And try to ascertain whether this form is so juvenile that he really needs to be put back.
No way to tell that. You really, the closest you have would be a nature check by the ranger. So
Okay,
Salen,
nature
Salen,
check by the ranger.
All right. Not my thing, so
Oh,
9.
it is. A ranger does get
Yeah,
usually
but
gets
insects,
nature.
yeah, he gets that, but he's just like not. This is not not one of my things. It's not from the world that I know. It's about the right size or whatever. I mean, given the size of the container, that if you're doing an analog compared to how a bee develops, it's pretty much taking up the whole space inside the container. So there's still about half the container is filled with goo.
So it's probably not an adolescent. It's probably still developing, but almost done.
Miri?
Yeah?
Did it pass anything on to you, like a vision or something?
Yes. Those of his kinds that numbered in the thousands fought along men, elf, and dwarf in a defensive.
Fought against.
I said no. Fought alongside.
I'm telling you, they weren't fighting.
They fought against.
They fought against.
Yes, the humans, elves, and dwarves were attacking them in their nest.
Okay.
They weren't fighting.
Humans, elves, and dwarves fought against them, and they were fighting a defensive battle in their nest.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse here and make a premature celebration, but what if this is the northern threat that we're looking for?
Then
It
we
could be,
head on.
but we're not in the north yet.
Fair enough.
We're only heading north, and I see only 38 of these things. I guess you said 38, or was it 39?
There's actually there are 36. I say there are 38 containers.
38.
Two of them don't include insects, but something else. They don't respond the same way as the others. So there are
Okay.
36 of
And
these things.
remember, it takes 6 to make a colony.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know, but I don't think this is the fearsome thing that we're going to be facing, unless there's more cells like these that are getting ready to develop.
I think it's worth investigating at least.
I could go try and look.
Okay, she's gonna try touching him again and seeing if she can.
Okay, so last time you basically touched it in the center of its
Yeah.
abdomen.
Okay. Then she'll go back there,
But
and
it's
just-
basically between the two pairs of arms.
and
Yeah,
what she's
but-
trying to reach for is thoughts. It must be having thoughts, if not dreams. And she's trying to reverse what she felt when the one came into her mind. She's trying to touch its mind.
Okay, in that case,
And just read what it's
you
processing.
need to make a wisdom save. DC
Okay.
is 17.
Oh, this is getting harder instead of easier. Okay.
You
I
need
made
a 4.
it by 6 plus 13, 19.
Okay, every family relationship you've had throughout all of time boils forward, and you see the people standing around you as they who would tear it apart.
Can we
You
tear
see
it apart?
those that are
The people you think of as being your friends, you see them as about ready to tear apart your mother and father again, to burn down the orphanage that you were raised in. Literally, it's every relationship you've ever had is boiling to the forward, and you're wanting to defend that against
Oh, cool.
the others that are here, the other people that are here.
okay.
She succeeded?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't feel it.
Well, that's fair
It just means I don't succumb to it.
No, the opposite is true. You successfully contacted its brain, and it's overtaking you. It's forcing
cool.
you to feel its experience.
Okay, she just
Yes.
lets it go, but then she tempers it. She kind of hold
No, Gene, you have to respond. They're attacking you. The people around you are about to take all of that belongs to you, that is precious, away from you. How do you
She
manifest
says,
that?
"Stop! Leave us alone."
Okay, so she's pointing at all of you, the adventuring party, as she's basically protecting this thing on the ground and saying, "Back off, all of you."
Okay, jeez. Frickin' sensitive cleric, unbelievable.
I failed.
No, you succeeded, Gene.
Oh,
You wanted
I
to contact
succeeded.
it. You wanted to
okay,
contact
see.
it.
Now she's going to try to get Miri. Listen, I don't know what you are or who you are. We took you out of the case that was holding you. If you would wake up, the My friends will not harm you so long as you do not harm us.
You smell breakfast in the orphanage.
Orphanage?
Yeah, where you were raised, where they took care of you.
No, I was never in an orphanage. I was raised by my nanny.
Fine. That's the
Oh,
experience.
that's what I'm feeling.
Yes.
Okay. Are you hungry? Wake up.
No, you're feeling it, Gene.
I'm feeling hungry.
No, you're feeling the satisfaction of being in your place of protection.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you're saying is working. Keep on saying what you're saying.
So,
It's good that you can't understand what's going on. I'm just giving you what you're getting for what you successfully did. You reached in,
yeah.
it grabbed your mind. It told you what it's feeling. You tried to calm it, and it says, I'm feeling the satisfaction of your childhood.
Is it physically doing anything that we can
Not
see?
a thing. Not a thing. It's just laying there.
I'm gonna go up and poke it.
Don't.
Let's see what happens.
I'm gonna smack his hand. Stop it.
Well, he's standing
Hey.
over it with a bow out, so it wouldn't be much for him to. Where are you going to poke it? In its eye?
Oh, I was just gonna like in a non-threatening area, just to see one if it'll move, and two what her reaction would be, because I know she's getting to
You're
see
gonna poke
if.
it with your foot?
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of
So
lightly poke it. I'm not gonna like kick it or harm it. Just kind of
right.
touch it.
So as he's reaching for it, again, Miri, you're feeling the need to protect it from this protect yourself from this interloper that's trying to invade your space. And you realize it's not seeing anybody. It's responding to proximity and utilizing your interaction with the world to convey that to you.
Okay. Your movements are threatening it.
So at that
Please.
point, I'll step back
Don't.
away from it.
Does that help?
Warm sunshine in your face, just outside of Elwindale. You must be like 7.
Can I coherently talk to the others? Do I have that much? I know I'm receiving it on like an empathetic level.
Right. So you can talk to them normally, but you're not seeing through your eyes right now. You're experiencing what it's feeding into your brain.
I tried contacting it mentally, and what I'm getting is its emotive responses. It seemed to sense the people around it and felt threatened in a way that translated to me as if everything I held dear, everything I knew, all my bases of security were being torn from me. And just now, when Celine, you approached, it felt your proximity, and it felt unease. So what it's communicating through me is my emotions. It's not coherent language thought. It's emotive responses right now. It might be its level of development, or it might be this is the way they communicate.
Is it connected to anything?
Nope,
Can you
just
feel
laying
it?
on the ground.
It's laying on the
No,
ground.
I mean like, well, she's connected. Is it like seeing others or just it? Because there's
Well,
like hive minds have. You know,
Oh, I see. Is it sensing any others around it? No,
yeah.
it doesn't appear to be.
Maybe if we pick it up and take it back closer.
Well, it's laying right next to its cell. So
Yeah.
Not far
So
away.
she then puts, do you need to be put back in your cell? Or do you want to be free? And she gives the idea of a bird taking flight.
You're suddenly in the desert by yourself. Nothing all around in every direction.
Think of the hive.
You look
It's-
down and you're the insect.
I'm the
You're,
insect.
you're standing alone in the desert.
All alone with no one else around me. Wow, that's powerful. It feels the loss of others. It's all alone in a desert. I'm all alone in a desert. That's what I feel. Like I'm all alone.
Tell her that she get out more.
Yes. Thank you, Cord.
How much jelly is left in the cone?
Half full.
Because half of it was the creature and half of it was the stuff surrounding it.
Well, I figured like some of it was essentially was leaking.
No, they see.
So,
They still. There's a little pool, little puddle of it soaking into the ground.
yeah. She asked again, do you want to go back in the cell?
Zumara, you feel the sense of drowning.
Okay.
Why would you do that to me?
I would have done it to you if you were touching her. It would have been hysterical.
Okay, not back in the cell. Will you wake up?
Just lays there.
It lays there.
Either it goes back in the cell or it
No,
or you free it
it's
or kill it.
no. What harm is it cause you?
Cord, make a Constitution save now, please.
Okay.
And same with you, Mary.
Okay.
That's a 24.
You're fine.
That's an 11, and my Constitution is 3, so I only have a 14.
Okay. All of a sudden, even though you were in contact with it and intended to, your arms and hands where you contacted it have gone completely numb. You realize that the liquid itself has an anesthetic and paralytic effect.
Okay.
Cord naturally shakes it off because of his stone composure. He just kind of shakes off that little springy feeling you get in your hands when they fall asleep.
Yeah, go numb. You move the blood.
But Miri's arms actually fall to her side, completely useless.
Interesting.
Maybe we
Good.
should dry it off.
Can somebody bring me a skin of water, and I'll see if it's a little late, but I'll see if I'm washing it down
Yes,
lessen
and
the
you
effect.
find that actually does almost immediately start to to make the paralysis fall off. You start to understand why they put the cells in the ground in a moist area.
Yeah.
Because when they do finally, whatever it takes, if they do get wet, it clears them.
Okay. She's wondering if it would help to wash him down. I can't figure out from his images. When I asked him if he wanted to be free of the cell, he showed me a desert and he was all alone. If I asked him if he wanted to go back in the cell, I was overwhelmed by a sense of drowning. Where,
And then I shudder.
Uh-huh.
I'm out of my depth here, but
Uh-huh.
I that wasn't intentional.
Cord, you're all wet.
But
if he doesn't respond, I can't leave him here at the mercy of a dragon or whatever else comes upon him.
Oh, that's why the dragon didn't eat them.
Okay, I'm gonna do like a Leroy Jenkins thing and just take my water skin and kind of dump it on his leg.
Nice. So as soon as you pour it on his leg, the sheath of it starts to flutter a little bit. The little there's little tiny veins in the length of its leg, and the way they breathe, they see is the little panels have to open, and the air just
Mhm.
floats through because of the pressures inside the body. As soon as that happens, it kicks out with its foot violently, narrowly missing your flask. But that leg is now basically completely articulated, and so like an insect would, that one leg is trying to turn the body, trying to spin it.
Well, then Miri
That's
will take
hilarious.
her water bag and start rinsing it off.
Yeah.
Does it have wings?
Well, it's
You know-
like I said, it's got the carapace folded over its back. As you finally start pouring water on it, the water does diffuse the
Gumminess.
paralytic effect, and it starts to move actively. And once it's got its limbs loose enough, it'll roll basically face down, literally rolling up one step into the debris, and scuttles forward into the underbrush, intentionally covering itself with the marshy leaves and branches and water. It disappears, by the way, because of its coloration. As soon as it gets under cover, it's virtually impossible to see it laying there. But it moves a couple of times, and it's clearly trying to clear the rest of the stuff out. After probably 2 or 3 minutes of silence, after it's wandered off into the darkness, it'll come walking back out on 2 legs. Its antenna now whipping almost a third of the length of its body, and it turns its head at that weird, almost impossible 120, 130 degrees both directions
Uh-huh.
as it's looking at you, and makes a series of clicking sounds.
Where is that wizard I ordered? Get him up here.
You need to cast tongues.
Yep.
Okay, so wizard comes up front. By this time, the thing has actually been preening itself. It actually puts its arm next to its face, each of its pairs of arms, and its head folds uncomfortably because that thorax bends almost 90 degrees so that it can actually reach down. As it does, the wings, the back of it, the carapace folds out so that you can see its lower body shape down below, and it's got weird hair-like villi underneath that move around underneath its carapace. So when it stands back up, you can't see that, but when it's on its side, you can see that it's basically breathing through these little villi that are drawing air into its main chambers inside of its body. After
Okay.
a few minutes of that, it actually flutters its wings, and you see it expand. The carapace folds almost clear above its head, creating this large V-like appearance underneath its antenna, and the wings look like that of a dead leaf. Looks like just it's got holes punched in it and stuff, but it's intentionally that way so that it looks like a camouflaged monstrous leaf. And then the wings fold back down underneath the carapace. And by the time your wizard comes up and is able to cast tongues.
Hail and well met, friend.
Friend, not friend. Friend, not kind.
Oh, why is that?
You are meat.
Yes, we all are.
We are not meat.
Well, in a
Yep,
way.
enemy of the north. Concluded. All right.
What are you?
I am Yarlim. I am alone. I am not
what?
Yarlim alone. I am not.
You have a name?
We are Yarlim, but I am not we.
Because your people are asleep.
But he walks over looking at the canisters on the ground, the ones that are still in the ground, and he taps on them with his foot, kind of furtively, like it's almost lovingly, because his feet end in 3-toed like hands. So even though he's walking upright, his toes He's got one forward toe and then two behind, but they're far enough apart that he could carry a weapon in his foot if he wanted. And so he's almost gingerly stroking, if you will, the surface of the next canister. And he goes, "Hex, we must hex."
X.
Do you know where your queen's at?
No queen.
Uma?
No queen. No queen.
Uma?
No hex, no queen.
Uma.
Almost.
Umara.
Yeah,
Umara.
Umara.
Yeah. She's not answering to Olma right now.
Umara.
Yeah.
What are Yarlin?
Does Umara know Yarlumar?
You've had the books for a while, and I think for a while you were in a period where you could read a little bit about them. The Arlem were third iteration, the invaders.
And I'll reiterate that.
All right, men, light the fires.
Light the fire where?
Anywhere. We're burning this place down before we leave.
You have a
Of
living.
course, we need a he can fly away still.
Why I fly? I alone. I must
Yeah.
hex.
Um,
I'm sorry, but there's no way on this sweet green ball of dirt floating in space. Hold up, I'm a 10 intelligence fighter.
That's fine.
On this flat plane floating in space that we're going to let you hex or whatever that is.
You have hex. 1, 2, 3,
You
4,
mean
5, 6.
vex?
You have hex. You understand hex.
We're friends. Not
Yes.
hex.
Hex is friends. He strokes the canister again.
I think what he means is that he needs to wake up 5 of his friends so that he can start a colony.
Colony?
That's what I think.
No colony. No colony.
Family.
Yes, family. No colony without queen. No queen without a nest. No nest without 6 hexes.
So you need-
are you able to take out other members by yourself?
Tank out.
Are you able to hex
Release?
by yourself?
No, Ken. No, not hex.
Are you able to release hex?
She goes over to Umara. Umara,
I know not songs. Me 3 to
what do
sing.
we do?
I point
He
at
seems
the.
really bent on this
Need-
hex thing,
Need
but
harmony to sing.
oh
Let's see this.
no.
Need three to sing. Sing harmony open hex.
Oh,
To
thank
clarify,
God.
that was out of character. Ali is screaming. Umara doesn't know anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Did I
That works
read-
good.
Did I read anything about harmony?
Well, no, because actually that happened. The part you're thinking about didn't happen until after 7th was over.
How do you
Okay.
spell
The Blend War isn't until after.
Okay.
how do you spell
Oh, he's fine though. We don't have to worry about him. Just leave him be.
Would you come with us?
No. I
No?
am.
We're not going to open the
I not
text.
hex.
I not hex. Okay.
Uh,
But he
I'm gonna
has
can I have a look at the floating things in the.
the other ones that aren't the same.
The other stuff. You mean the stuff that's floating in his canister?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several longish objects, maybe 1.5 feet long. A couple others that are about as long as your forearm, and others that are like the size of a fist.
Can I take one out and like wash it in the water?
Sure. As you bring it out, he goes, "I can has."
no.
I don't know. What is it?
I can has tool. I can has tool.
No.
So
Well,
you've
hold
cleaned it
up.
off. It's just a glob of wax, as far as you can tell.
It's just a glob of wax.
There might be something in it. It feels heavier than the waxy material itself, but it's just a glob of wax.
I'll try asking a question.
I'm gonna
Sure.
clean it off as best I can.
What family do?
Yes, you know this. Yes, please say that out loud.
What family do?
What family do? Family make happy. Family make
What happy?
happy. Happy means brethren childs.
More. You make family bigger.
Yes, family makes hexes. Hexes make nests. Nests
Is
mean
meat
creche.
food?
Creche means many.
Is meat food?
Come on, Salen, say it out loud.
My name is Legion, for we are many.
All right. Stoke the fires.
I'm not going to just kill it. We may.
Well, Mary,
Family has
you might not
tools.
just kill it. I'm just gonna kill it.
Why not life?
Why not life?
Yes, you life. You hex life. I need hex life. Please?
Mary,
No. I'm denying your existence.
But
He's the ruler. I can't do anything
I
about
offer promises.
What
Interesting.
promise?
Let's hear these promises.
Just
Yarlum
Don't kill it.
Yarlum protect. As always.
What have you
What?
protected?
Yarlum protected man. From man.
it.
That's
Just a moment.
dubious at best.
Wait a moment. When did
You
you
said
protect?
doobie. As
Yeah,
compared
it's
to
a
a
good,
dog bee. Romper room bee reference. Yay!
Oh, I thought you were talking about a doobie, actually.
You would, of course.
I'm going to call you Click only because that way I can refer to you.
Name not sound.
No?
No.
What's the name?
His name is
Let
Tony.
Let him say it.
But we name him
name
Legion.
is, and he makes a series of clicks, buzzes, whistles, and stuff that goes on for about 10 seconds.
We can't.
Ooh, can you make it shorter for us? Something shorter.
Give me harmony, I give you short.
Nope.
Harmony.
Don't do
She'll just sing a little song, the
No,
spinning.
Don't
no
say
good. He puts his little, he grabs hold of his antenna and pulls them down. No good, not sound.
Yeah, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. It's horrendous.
The sound we make.
What is
Yes.
the temple?
Oh, temple. When you say temple, he turns his head almost 180 degrees behind him like a praying mantis and goes, oh, the temple is hive.
Listen,
A temple is a hive.
you sense friend.
Temple is
Their home.
Vafthrender.
Bathrenda. Is that the name of the temple? Bathrenda?
The hive
Or
is
the-
Vafthrender.
Bath or Bath?
Victor
B or-
Alpha Foxtrot. Tango Hotel. Uniform.
Bathrenda.
I have a
That's
badge
Brenda.
that goes to Vafthrender, I believe.
Vafthrender.
Mhm.
Thrender.
I have a badge that goes there.
Yes, you have a
Is that-
badge that you got from.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
This thing said it protects man from man. Could it mean it protects Nycos humans from the others?
Those who came down from the sky.
Yes.
Or protects them.
It protects.
Always have. Always will. It is our purpose.
Your purpose is to protect Nycos from the others.
Yes. For
Others are
Nycos
here.
belongs to us.
All of us.
It
Not-
looks as funny. Says, no, only hives.
Oh, that's right. You fell down, down, down into a burning ring of fire.
I look at that's the problem.
So
If we don't learn to live together, then we will destroy each
It looks
other.
at you funny and says, "No fire. You wish us not be. I help you not me. Help you help us not be."
wait, what?
No thanks. I think I'm.
Oh,
It starts
I think I'm-
scraping. It starts scraping the marshy, mucky water back over the cells. See, I helping. We make them not be. Then you go be safe, not be.
The thing, did I take anything out of the wax at their well?
Yeah, you got you peel through to something that looks roughly the size of a fist, with its outer surface has little ridges and bumps, kind of like you would expect if you were looking at, say, bar candy.
Bar candy.
It has at one end it has a little, you see at the end of it, it looks like a living thing because it's got a little pair of antennae and a little pair of mandibles, and its little arms are all on one side.
Oh, like it. The one
And
that
the little legs are holding on to what looks like a metal ring.
better find out.
I'm gonna take the metal ring.
Okay, as soon as you put your finger on the metal ring, the little arms, except for one pair, release. So it's only holding on with the two back legs. Its little face is looking at you, and the little antennas are twitching like mad.
What is this?
He looks
Awesome.
over and says, "Oh, that is Big Sound."
That's a
Big-
grenade. Out of character. What does it do?
So he's holding this object like this, and he's got his finger through a ring on the side of it. I don't know what visually you guys
It's a
are
grenade.
getting
I
from
thought
that.
so.
Oh no,
you-
I've seen this before.
I pull my finger away
Where
from
did you
the
see
thing.
one of these before?
In the human.
Yeah,
encampment?
nothing like this. It looks like he's holding a bloated tick, is what it looks like. It's soft and gooey, except it's got those little crenulations around its outside.
I'm gonna walk
surface.
away with it, and then I'm gonna pull it and throw it away into the forest.
The ring or the object?
Both to be safe,
Okay. So you throw
and then run away.
You throw the little bug away, and as you throw it, it flies through the underbrush and hits the ground. And as you are watching it disappear into the underbrush, it starts to trundle its way back towards you.
I use holy fire, holy flaming.
Well, it doesn't get very far, and it does actually go boom. And when it does, you're the only one close enough. You need to make a
Dex save?
Constitution save.
All right. Come on, baby. Let's do something fun here. 19. Woof.
Okay. So you basically duck, and the explosion goes off, and it doesn't move a leaf or anything, but the sound of it is this extremely loud clapping of thunder. As it activates, as it makes that sound, those of you that are nearby make a perception test. DC only 7.
Salem's got a 12.
Well, I get a +8.
Yep. So you still have to roll, just not to roll 1. So
So natural 20. What do I say?
okay.
28.
Yeah, you notice that whatever the device was, it's actually meant to help the recovery of the hive, because the cells all separate along their seams from the sound. The sonic effect causes that waxy material to separate.
That's why he wants the harmony, so you can charge that, so that way he can bring the colony back,
All
or
right.
the hex back, or whatever.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it to you all very as I see it. We have come across a global threat that, if left unchecked, could multiply and spread out across Nycos. Now, the only course of action I see here is to burn, cut, and crush until there's nothing left. If you have any other suggestions, I'm willing to hear them now.
You've already got you guys running up with the torches and the fire. You already called for that. So, what do you want? Where is with the fire, sir?
Hold for now.
I want to know why they were defending themselves against humans, elves, and or humans, elves, and dwarves. What was the reason behind that? I don't think they eat people.
Yeah, no. Tracks.
Nobody
ate
said he
grain.
called them meat. You are meat.
Yeah.
We are not
And
meat.
what do ants eat?
I do not have the answer, and that's what's killing her, is that
Hey,
I don't know about the Yarlin.
Hive. What do meat do?
Meat.
Meat.
What do you do with meats?
The weak are meat, and the strong will eat.
This keeps getting better and better.
Okay, I'm on the side with Cord at this point.
We're not strong. We are weak. We sing.
But-
We help. We pledge to help help men against men. Always have,
Yeah.
always will.
Do you have a contract?
Oh, when you say that, it stomps in a circle. It wrings its hands. You physically can tell it's raging, stomping around. Contract? Word is word. Voice is voice. Song is life. We sing to live. Please, give me harmony. Harmony means hex. Hex means nest. Nest means home.
Nest means family, and family means no more meat. Meat, not like.
No, we know
Meat
eat meat.
burn.
We know eat meat.
Oh, what do you eat?
We eat debris.
What?
Debris.
Debris.
Debris?
Debri. We eat
What counts as
detritus.
debris for you?
Detritus.
Debris. S is silent. Debris.
That which meat not use.
So the stuff laying here on the ground that we are not going to eat.
Decompose. Yeah.
Oh, you eat the garbage then.
No, we eat debris. Garbage is what we feed the worms. Worms eat dirt, and dirt becomes chummy.
I'm gonna have a look at the long thing now, and then clean it off.
When you
Is
reach
this-
for the long thing, he looks over at you and makes a weird, rapid chittering sound. That not good. How long spell,
What
by
is
the
it?
way? How long is tongues last?
I mean, I've got plenty of wizards, so there's a problem with it.
Look it up, somebody.
Okay.
I hate to do this to you, but it's 10 o'clock, guys. The session's officially supposed to be over now.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna go to work?
But since we didn't start on time, we'll pick up an extra half an hour. How's that sound?
Wonderful.
All right.
So,
I have a
I
question.
give you life if you give me harmony.
What life? You gonna give us our
I
life?
already
but-
have life.
But not abundant life, not more life, not better life. I give
Why
better
meat
life.
attack long ago?
What?
The elves and the dwarves, etc. Why do they attack you?
Confusion.
On.
Why did the non-hive want to hurt the hive?
Because hive some hives got sick. Quarantine? You know this word? Quarantine? Quarantine fail. Sick hives. Find more hives. Oh no.
Like any real side, well, any
Sorry
real
about that. Sorry about
That's
that.
okay. We
warning.
we figured
more
that
or
that Steven's question stumped you, and you were
No,
just
no, I was
frozen.
answering question in it. I thought I was waxing poetically, and then
Poetic?
you guys went away. It's like, no, no. Uh, I've got sick. You have
I've got
you have word quarantine?
yes.
Yes, quarantine fail.
Oof.
Ah,
what is this?
Sick hives make other hives sick. Man gets confused, starts killing sick hives, then doesn't stop and kills good hives.
What happened when you got sick after something gets sick?
They eat meat.
All right.
Ah.
How is your hive? Do you know how to prove that your hive isn't sick?
Yes, I know eat meat.
Is there like a
Can someone
visual?
cast Zone of Truth in this fool?
yes, I can.
Cool.
I cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
So
Now-
how do you know what's?
You will help us in our fight.
That's charm
Again?
person.
You fighting?
Well, we
Yeah.
might be. There is
That's charm person. You
something
cast Zone of
is
Truth.
happening in the north, and we need to go there to find out what is happening and who is causing the problem.
Who is fighting?
We don't know, but we have wise ones that have told us that this is true.
You want life I give?
No.
The life you give. What is the life you
If I
give?
give you I give you life, you give me harmony.
Don't.
You-
No, Mary.
Just a moment.
Well,
So you would like your friends out?
Yes, I not live, but I who is in hex.
what is this? Well, it's just
This is
trying-
like sleep only painful.
no. What is the thing I'm holding?
Oh,
The tool.
that is tool.
Tool for what?
For Yarlum, not for Fish Boy.
Is it a weapon?
Can be. You've now pried it loose. It's basically, it looks like a gauntlet. It covers basically the forearm, and
really?
it's folded open. So you would basically lay your arm in it and then fold the other side across. It's got a separate secondary tube that runs along the back of the arm.
I want to put it on now. Gotta fit me though.
Probably won't fit you.
The Yarlim now skitters up onto the stairs of the ziggurat. He not use. That not good. He not use.
Okay,
not,
then-
not he not Yarlim.
What is it?
Okay,
What
look
does
at
it do?
what fish face. Leyland.
Ellen?
Jesus Christ.
You need to put that stuff down and leave it. It's not yours. It belongs to him.
Stay off my
24
That's not gonna happen.
I go over and
I'll
yank it
back
out of his
away with
hand.
it, and then I'll
Okay,
place
so
it
you're
with.
gonna go over and wrestle him for it. You're gonna.
So give me a second and let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go towards Cord and head it to him. This is his army, and I feel like it wouldn't be safe to leave it on the ground for the thing to take it. So I'll just give it to him so he can hold it,
Okay.
and we don't have to worry about it getting in the wrong hands in a sense.
I'm flattered.
That'll be.
Still don't think it's going to be happy with that.
So you not want life. Big life, better life.
We'll come back to you on that. How long are you gonna be around here for?
Till I get harmony.
Oh, so we can just leave him.
Listen. Can I have your word you'll stay here till we come back by? Then we'll maybe look at giving us life for your harmony.
No, we get harmony first. If you leave, I start getting harmony.
How do you get harmony?
He
I use tools.
Well, we're not gonna leave the tools.
They're my tools. Are you thief?
Yep.
Dude,
no, we're not thieves.
Well, you guys aren't. Wait, so you have a sense of identity,
We do.
but there's only one of you.
Can't you just make
I am
another one?
not yet. I am not yet we. I am I. I am not I.
So therefore, you can't own these tools because you're not whole yet.
No. They're
Yeah.
mine. They're ours.
But-
They're ours.
But there's only one of you.
They are still ours. Remember, it's a hive mind.
But there's only one.
Fine. There's one
You
who is
do you
all.
do you like inflicting pain,
No.
Cord? Do you enjoy harming others?
No.
Then let me have my harmony.
How about you pray
Um,
to your God and I mean,
You promised to do us no harm at all.
Why would I harm? I am protecting of man.
Because you said that we are not of Nycos.
What?
That's what he said.
Who?
I don't-
Click.
I
did-
never heard
I
him
said
say
not-
it.
I said what?
Click had said something along the lines of that that Nycos belongs to the Ixal or the
No.
Yarlum.
Yeah, it does.
So, and usually that means protect. Nycos means protect things that don't belong to Nycos, which means non-Yarlums, which means us.
Oh, we don't need protect food. Food protects food. Sorry, meat. I used the wrong word there. We not protect meat. Meat protects meat.
Yes, Freudian slip under zone of truth. Very classic.
I couldn't have made it. Couldn't have made the Freudian slip. So no matter what, you have to realize he said meat, not food.
Okay.
Okay, we are meat because of we are musculature. I've never looked inside.
If you must burn away. Burn hot. Very hot fire. Takes very hot fire to burn burn Yarlum. Burn us till sky turns black with cloud.
That's
Or
so.
give me harmony.
You know something? We could probably use flying troops.
We know it's serve. We protect.
We protect.
You're gonna have to serve.
When you say you protect, how do you protect?
He flexes his tiny arms. His secondary sets of arms fold out, and from his basically at the base of his wrist, about a 6-inch blade shoots out and inserts back in.
How much can you lift?
What was that?
How much can you lift?
How much?
He's only about 120 pounds.
How much can I lift?
Yeah.
You're really. Did my volume go down or something? Because I can barely hear you.
I had to put on my
Oh, okay.
headset.
How much can I lift? Why does that matter? We are strong. We are not strong. I already said we are weak.
But I'm guessing you're fast and you're fast.
Individually, they are weak. Together, they are strong.
Yes.
This is our problem. We don't know about your kind much, except that 6 makes a hex, 36 makes a
Hive.
hive,
And there's 36 here.
And a queen makes nest.
and a queen makes nest.
And a nest makes more nests.
I don't think we're getting anywhere. We're just going in circles at this point.
I know because I don't have
Well,
enough
you
info.
have a choice. Are you going to burn them out? Because you can, because it's just him, and he's not going to be able to fight you.
Right.
Or are you going to allow him to wake up his relatives?
Or
Is there only 36?
Yeah, but that's gonna spread.
okay,
Is there
okay.
only 36?
Miri,
Here.
these exist to spread themselves like a disease. Probably a bad example, actually. They
Do you
exist.
know this for sure?
That's all he's been saying this entire time.
We're the disease.
We actually have a third option. We can capture him and take him with us and address this later if we don't find anything north of here.
I like that idea.
I not with Hex, I die.
Can we afford to take 6 with us?
Sure. We got plenty of men.
Okay. A hex to start?
Hex, all I need. All we
Okay.
need.
Okay.
Look, we're wasting time. We need to make a decision.
We'll get 5 more out, and we will take the 6 and no more at this time. And then we will find out more about these. I just can't do a commune again today. I don't have that many spells, and I
All right.
only took 1.
I'm going to have my men strip out 6 more hexes, and we're going to tie this guy down.
5 more hexes. We have 1. 5 more.
I'm sorry. We're going to get 1 hex.
Yeah.
5 more hexes would be
All of them.
6 right to
Right.
the hive, yeah.
It would be 6 short of all of them.
Yeah.
But you're
And
gonna
let him have his own weapons.
No.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No.
Then you leave them defenseless?
No,
we're
he's
gonna,
not defenseless. He
I
has
think-
a weapon in him.
Mary, I think if we give him his weapons, he might be able to create harmony with the hex.
Mary, he's been able to live up to this time. You're kind of discrediting him.
So I think our plan of action should be create some sort of carrying thing for the 6 other pods, and then
Oh, you're
strap
going to
them.
take out the pods. You're not taking. Oh, you're well played. Well
5 pods.
played, Cord. To take the pods and not to awaken them. He wanted them awakened, and you're playing a letter of the law. You're going to take them along because he said if he didn't have them, he would die.
Yeah,
You
easy.
are clever. Oh, I should be more careful around you.
All right.
You're scary.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No,
Okay, all right.
I totally thought you was gonna let me wake him up. Oh
No.
damn.
Oh no.
Damn.
I thought
No, definitely not.
oh,
All right.
anyone was thinking other than you.
So I'm gonna have my men dig up. How many do we need for him to survive?
5, I think.
36.
No, be quiet, you.
Just need to get 5 more.
And I'm gonna have I'm just gonna
Let's see.
capture him, I guess.
Oh,
Oh,
Wait,
just,
need
just tell him to come
capture.
along.
I follow.
Okay,
You,
well,
you
that,
have, you, and then you're gonna burn the rest of them.
no,
No.
definitely not. As I said, we'll come back to this later.
Or somebody will.
And then I'm gonna take tell Cord that we should
Make a
take everything
perception
that's
test.
out.
Who?
Everybody or who?
Yeah, anybody can. All of you should.
Cool.
9. Well, that wasn't really a roll though. But...
All right,
Yep, nope, it's
19.
9.
I rolled well.
24.
Because
19.
Because
16.
because the pods were all broken up earlier by the blast of the boom bug, the cells are each one softening along their seams.
They're gonna open anyway.
This is a dilemma.
Should we run?
Definitely
wait.
not.
Realize they're inside of the goo, so it's going to take them a long time. They're not going to do it right away. But if you
I'm
leave
gonna start
them,
singing.
if you leave them, they will eventually be washed free of the nerve ending stuff after they finally do get out of their pods.
I'm gonna get near the pod and sing, just like yell or something, and see if it hardens because it vibrated with the other stuff. Might as well check.
You're going to sing at it, but they're partially submerged in water is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna use Holy Flame, dry it up for a second, and then sing at it.
Holy
idea.
Flame will not dry up all that water.
Right.
You'll get a small patch of dryness, and it won't last long. Just seep in again.
Well, even if you lifted them up on lifted one of them up onto the steps, it's still decaying. So eventually it'll fall apart, and it might take 3 months, 6 months, a year, but eventually they will start to.
Oh,
So, do you want? I'm just.
I have
You're gonna.
I have enough men to take these with us.
You do.
But they're already gonna come out.
You do, but that's 36 of them.
You don't want 36. You don't want
If you're-
36.
If you're being
Leave them.
prudent, you have to think about it. You've got one prisoner. He said he'll stay with you as long as you've got 6. If you
All right,
destroy
well-
the rest, you'll just piss him off, but that's all you'll do. And it'll keep him from being able to get to his allies. If there are only 36 in the world.
All right. What do you guys think?
As long as we're pushing forward, don't care.
All right.
Build the road on top of them.
Oh, whoa.
Could do that.
That's dark.
It is dark. Actually, you
Right
could burn
now?
them. You could light them on fire, burn them, and then build the road over them. That would be adding salt to the wound.
But you know something? Don't let him see what we do.
I mean,
But I really don't want them.
Mira, he's gonna know.
Why?
Yeah.
He's gonna smell it. He's
Yeah,
gonna
he's,
see the.
he's gonna. Is that Jimmy I smell? Yeah, no, he's gonna know. So I mean, wouldn't it be like I don't know, just like cutting off a finger if they have like a sense of whole with each other? It wouldn't
Yes.
really like
He
killing
is,
individuals.
He is the finger, exactly.
So it's kind of like that book Ender's Game. It's like just taking out their communication. It's not really considered a massacre.
The orbs.
Killing 50, killing 30 out of 36. That's pretty close to a massacre.
That's getting pretty close.
I mean, if we use meat logic, this is hive logic.
High logic.
We're just crippling the hive. We're not killing it. There's no death here. We're breaking its kneecaps.
Yes, and harming your own salvation. I promise you more life. I promise you will get no more life.
I'm not saying you can't have your harmony. I'm just saying I want to figure out more about your history. That's all.
Oh, give me harmony. We sing you the past.
All right, pick 6 of the ones that you want to keep with you, and I'm going to destroy the rest.
5.
The 5. Sorry, the 5. Yeah.
We
Pick
cannot
5.
choose. You choose for us.
Fine. I don't even care.
The 5 nearest us.
And is there anything that the orbs are doing? Like, are they still just spinning and doing nothing?
The orbs are just minding their own business, spinning away.
Do you know what these are? I'm gonna ask them directly.
Yes.
What are they?
Amplifiers.
Oh God.
What do they amplify?
The song.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
How many of more hives are there?
At one point, hives were from Tiora to Concord.
And the sound that the thing that blew up, did it amplify that sound elsewhere?
No.
Okay, cool.
No. It only sings the song of Yarlum. But Yarlum are not we until we are harmony, at least.
Yeah, so you're neither good or
We'll
evil?
figure out if there's a way we can keep these things encased. We might have to change them to a different type of container.
Is there any clay in the area?
Is there a way to keep them from...
There's marsh. I don't know. There's probably some clay in amongst the clay and the sand and all of that, yeah.
If I can find some sort of tough
Is there a way to
mud.
stop your brethren from freeing themselves before we decide on it? Because they'll destroy your brethren. If there's a way to harden the...
Umar gets a BP for the 5-minute reference. That's very good.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you, Sean. you Debbie Downer, coming to the door and telling us that.
All right. Well,
All right, everybody get ready to put away their models.
Oh my God.
Put all the terrain up against the far wall. Leave the miniatures that are
DP
mine.
when I
I'll put
did it.
those away.
I didn't get a DP when I did this, like, last month.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't as poignant as it is now. The farther we get from the days of a store, the more you remember even the bad things like that.
it just hits closer to hive, you know?
Yeah, it gets closer to the hive, exactly.
I wait until everybody's completely distracted, though.
Yeah, I get you.
And I do it subtly.
Subtly, exactly.
So is there a way to keep it hardened so we don't have to burn your people? Your hive.
There is no hive. I am me and I am not we.
I tap on the thing. It's like, is there a way to keep this hard versus it melting or decomposing?
It is time. You activated timer.
Yes,
Oh,
unactivate.
All right. Well,
Unactivate. I tried.
So you're gonna pull 5 of them out of the ground and burn the rest.
yep, 100%. I don't see what else to do. I feel like my hand has been forced by the situation. I wish there's something else we could do. I don't like.
You could release the harmony.
That could
give
kill.
you the gift of life.
That could kill thousands.
It could save millions.
We can still save millions because we still have a hex, and there's probably other hives out there. But I don't have enough information to make any decision right now.
Fair
So the
enough.
decision I'm going to make is I'm going to burn 32 of you?
30 plus the 2, right?
Yeah, 32 of you. And I apologize.
Do we know it's in the other 2?
No.
He said it was. He said it was things that belong to us. That's all he said.
Oh, the things. You can take those.
Why not pull one of those out, save it, and burn the other one?
All right. I will do that.
Okay, and you've got enough carpenters and stuff to build a wood case to keep these things in if you wanted to keep them from falling
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
I'll build like stretchers for them to be carried on.
Yeah, and if you put desiccant in there, sand and stuff to dry it out, crackers and stuff to dry it out, you can keep them from dissolving completely.
I'm gonna make.
And
I
it's
hate it.
10:30. We are finally on our move with the one hex there among you, and the rest melted down, burnt. They pop like popcorn. They squeal as they die.
They smell good
Just
though.
remember, they weren't dead.
Lobsters.
Yeah, but they more like implode into a soupy goo. Before
Oh, if that's the case, then I'm sure after the first few, we'd take them out and execute them quickly before burning them alive.
Nah, you should
How
burn
is
them.
that any better?
This is quick. According to the dole
But
scale.
they're under. But if they're under the liquid, they feel no pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. Well,
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, it's like burning a beehive. It takes a while because it's liquid inside, and so it sputters and pops and crackles, and you have to add more fire and add some more wood.
Yeah.
so in summary,
It's dirty work. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it takes you
We
all
don't-
night.
But
Dominated-
it smells amazing, right?
we dominated a dragon and we
Kill the
Massacred.
species.
bees. That's nice.
Yes. All right. Thanks for playing, guys. We will see you next time. Remember, tomorrow is Thursday, so that is Slopes of the Shatterhorn. Hope to see all of you that can play there.
Oh, wait. The
Wait.
Visions of Corwin
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Visions of Corwin. I'm sorry. My bad.
at 12 o'clock.
and
1
then-
o'clock.
And then Shadowhorn.
That's right. And Splinter. That's right. We can do them both tomorrow. Yay! So we're doing both. So
Boy.
Shatters is also tomorrow. But
As per usual, I'll be late.
Well,
that's okay. We will see you all when we can. And thank you to
You mean the zombies are pounding at the door of the shopping mall and you're going to be late to the party?
How could you
Yep.
possibly want to be late for that? That's going to be amazing.
Oh, I have
yeah,
class,
yeah.
so
I want to get on that one.
Yeah,
beating zombies, learning Japanese. I'm gonna have to go with Japanese.
Yeah.
First.
wow, a Mendel's song just came into my head. I'm learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so.
oh God.
Good.
Learning
Anyways.
Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so.
And-
So you're taking
Oh,
online
jeez.
courses
Please stop.
for Japanese?
She is learning Japanese because she loves herself some manga and anime.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
I
guys, you have
respect
a
that.
great night. I'll leave the meeting room open for you guys a little bit longer, but we're closing the stream out, so I'm waiting.